Sem ideias para presentes? Nós ajudamos. Do avô aventureiro à filha corajosa.
Wait, hang on. I think I've got it. I think I can go through my.
Do you want a link?
Well,
No, I think
you
I've
want
got
to
it.
So welcome everyone to the second day of the Elite Order tournament, 3 versus 3. Second day, very excited to be here. I'm your host, PS Enough. I have with me the creator of the tournament, Wicked Snow White, or the organizer of the tournament.
Hello, guys. Hello.
And the Highland Wolf, just fresh off the MPL, where he was helping Maxman cast some hot games. How was that, Highland Wolf?
That was epic. And do you know what even is more epic? I am the fortress. I am the fortress here. I become the fortress, guys. The real wolf is here. Best event every scene. No, I'm only joking, guys. It's been great to come cast this as well. Super excited for these games. PS, now take it away from me.
The hype is real. The wolf was never gone.
Hype is real, and it's his birthday today, so let's have a big shout out for Highland.
That was our
turning
present for him.
older.
He became a real wolf.
He became the fortress. Well, we are all set and ready to go, guys. So
let's name the teams, perhaps, first. We have the first match for today, WinX Club versus Barbosa. For the side of WinX Club, we will have playing quickly simple, One Punch Man and Druid. And for the side of Barbosa, we have a Regame, 12-12, Nudupa, and Erison, 13. I think we're about ready to start the draft. We have some information on the
So we have the first bands. Yes.
Yeah, the first bands were Petal and Grumpjaw. And we'll see what the other bands are in a few seconds when the party decides to start.
Yeah, I mean, a couple issues, yeah, but certainly looking like an epic game. I mean, quickly simple One Punch Man Druid, like 3 people, yes, nothing wicked, but we can expect to see some really good plays, and it's going to be interesting to see how the enemies are going to cope going up against these enemies, because they really can, as we know already, based on their names, but they can actually put up a really good fight.
Well, I expect that One Punch Man will play Arden, right?
Are we disappointed? Yeah, we can't go ahead with the game if he doesn't go hard in, guys. Just a heads up. But yeah, certainly.
They rebanned Petal, so double ban for Petal. I don't think they quite got how the double ban system works, but well, that's fine. So no Petal, no Grumpjaw, no Cruel apparently on Halcyon Fold for this first game of today. Let's see what they decide to pick. Hopefully not Grumpjaw, otherwise this would be confusing. We would have to stop the game and let them know.
Exactly, as we see, obviously, the Petals and Cool banned out. We do see the Black Bear and the Light. It's going to be the first pick of the game. Really versatile and doesn't give too much away, as I was saying on the NPO, about your draft. Alpha and Arden, very good at engaging here. Really strong front line and early game potential coming out from the Alpha here. But Black Bear equally good going to match that.
Yeah, both the Lyra and Black Feather are pretty decent picks. The Alpha, we saw a lot of Alpha yesterday. She's pretty strong on 3 versus 3. If you let her snowball early on, you need a good counter pick. I'm not sure if Black Feather is the best counter against Alpha, but they already picked it and they decided to go for Kinetic for the lane. So it's going to be interesting to see how that will work out for them. I mean, it can work, but I don't know. It depends how much that Alpha will snowball.
Swap heroes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, Beatrice as well. I mean, there's going to be such a strong engagement from the side, or the B side here coming from their draft here. But certainly, I think, you know, that the enemies here, in terms of obviously Quagley, Simple, One Punch Man, and Druid, they definitely have a really strong draft here. Kinetic, very good and consistent laner here as well, is going to be able to really support. Obviously,
I'm curious who actually won that draft. I mean, both can work. I think the draft on the side of the red team of Barbosa is a little more solid, but it depends on how they will execute it. Because Black Feather is so broken that it's really easy to snowball them as well on 3 versus 3. So let's see how this works out. Starting off, we just have zoning around that barrier treant that will pop up any second now in the middle of the Halcyon Fold.
Yeah, vision has been placed here. Yes, now from One Punch Man just kind of scouting it out, but there's no team choosing to immediately go for the barrier treant. Instead, Quagley Simple here opting to push down the lane, making sure that the CS is now pushed up against Erison here, who has to then make that rotation to be back up the lane to defend his turret. Quickly has started to push down.
Yeah, it also needs to be quick, finishing up this barrier treant and trying to avoid steal from One Punch Man. Let's see if he manages to secure. No, nice steal! One Punch Man clearing that one. And that's a pretty interesting start for the game. Druid already level 2 from those back jungle camps. And Alpha feels bad, man. Missing that barrier treant after putting all the work. It's the power of the Lyra. Manages to steal things from you the last second with that annoying sigil of hers.
Yeah, the sigil's so strong. He piercing up a Druid going in and really collapsing onto Erison, but can't find enough damage in this early stage of the game to delete Erison under his own turret. The vision there has been placed to just catch out any rotations coming into their jungle. It's a smart can there from the side of Barbosa.
Alpha catch Black Feather. Ah! He just snuck away. The Prime Directive connected, but the teleport brought him back before he had time to actually do damage and cancel it out. Let's see if we have a jungle invade here, just stealing a little barrier treant.
Yeah, and if they're going to steal like that front camp, so important in 3v3 meta. You can really push behind your jungle and it's going to create pressure.
Now rotation to the lane.
See the Prime Direct is going to land onto One Punch Man. The work's going to be there. Very Simple has managed to get on out of there. Failure to catch onto this Kinetic will result in pressure being lost, and now barrier treant has been started by Wink Hub. They're looking started, but the Prime Directive does not steal it. And the Duper now has to be careful as 3-man rotations comes out fast, have been popped by the Duper. Now regame having to run on back out there as the on point does land. They're going to lose barrier treant likely as well.
Yeah, nice engage there. I mean, the idea from the Alpha was nice to rotate and try to catch someone off, but good rotation from
it's
Kinetic,
still
making
more.
sure they got it. Yeah, and it's still another one, so definitely a small advantage early on for the size of WinX Club.
Yeah, we're
It's
looking at
gonna
about
be bold.
2,000 gold advantage here. PS enough it just 3 minutes into the game. Really strong coming out here from Winx Club, really dominating the side of Barbossa's jungle and also their lane as well. Quickly Simple doing an excellent job on this kinetic to just control the lane and deny Erison in this early game. Idris as much farm as possible to get his perk up, and Dupat also looking like he's going to fall. The reboot has been popped already, but it's going to even be destroyed before he even comes back on. PS is up in regame. Now going to be the next target as Druid comes down. The on point truly going to land as well, looking to try catch him out, and that will be the second falling down. But the Vanguard there just in time, but we're going to find him, and unfortunately Druid looks like he could lose his life. Black has been popped, but Nupa still trying to find more in it. And the Nupa will actually be cancelled out, and it's just going to be outplayed as Druid takes down 2 more men.
Bad decision there from the Dupa. She should have kept trying to get the kill onto Druid. Just backed off and not doing enough damage. Be able to keep inside this fight. That really gave a good advantage to the side of WinX Club, putting them into the game. Oh, denied! Lyra denies Prime Directive with her B there.
Really good work to use from One Punch Man, and Prime Directive will miss once again. Maybe we're going to have to be more accurate on those to allow these engagements for the side of Barbossa. One Punch Man doing an excellent job, however, on the side of support to help defend against this Alpha, really carrying his team as a backbone for them.
Yeah, just standard early game here on 3 versus 3 land. Waiting for enemy mistake, but a couple nice jungle invades from both sides. Curious to see how this game will work out. It seems that the Black Feather is scaling up a lot better than this Alpha. They definitely should have the advantage on the mid game. They're about to take this Crystal Sentry.
Oh, still
stealing
no
that
way again. Oh,
so rude, One Punch Man. So rude.
Exactly, and quickly Simple here as well, just in the game, consistently farming, and we see this difference. We see only 18 CS on Idris compared to 48 on Quickly Simple. He's so far behind.
Yeah, that's really terrible.
And we see now the reboot coming, the portal on top of the Duper needs to push him further closer to the kinetics, and that's going to be double kill going over. Regame is not going to be able to do anything. All he can do is just watch his turret go down. His enemies just delete his carries, and they're just so far ahead. We are 6,000 gold and a half, plus the gold mine about to go over to the side of Winx Club. They are absolutely decimating the side of Barbossa.
Yeah, it's starting to become a very one-sided game already. The goal difference is just increasing, and as the levels of difference are also there, so it's going to be really hard for Barbossa to recover from this. They should now be thinking of turtling up, waiting for level 12 equalizer, and waiting for the late game.
They're just walking into the jungle. It's nothing, and basically Erison is about 8 minion farm waves behind. He's failed in his early game. Idris has been absolutely punished before he can even get his, obviously, his diversion path unlocked. It's been impossible for Erison to even find a way into this game. Now Madupa just absolutely deleted this. Nothing he can do. It's just an absolute wipe of Barbossa. It's embarrassing to watch from as Regame just charged under his own turret, and now Erison, the last sole survivor of his team.
The snowball is real. This Black Feather is already well fed. One Punch Man trolling so hard there, doing a very good bait onto that Alpha. Just completely fell for it. The Idris is so behind on farm. It's going to be really hard to do any difference.
Healing the damage. Like, they can't even out damage the healing coming from quickly. And the portal in, the gauntlet has been used. Yes, nothing. One Punch Man is going to spawn out of there, but not enough. As Quickly Simple, still alive, is doing more damage, stacking up. Already got the 7th match, but not got the breaking point yet, so not going to gain more damage over time in these team fights. PS now.
Such a good gauntlet there, and the rest of the team just couldn't. They don't have the damage to follow it up. Even 2 versus 1 against Kinetic, they couldn't do anything against her. So I think this game is pretty much over already. I'm hoping to be denied or countered or whatever you say it, but it seems like it's pretty much in the favor of WinX Club. They're about to get another gold miner.
Yeah,
only reaching 8 minutes, and the gold difference is already quite substantial, almost double.
It's about literally 10,000 gold lead ahead in not even 8 minutes. I mean, this is the fastest game in gold lead we've seen all tournaments so far. PS and Everson is just absolutely wiped and not going to survive much longer than the next 4 PS and There's going to be 2 kills and would not be surprised to see Regame charged under his own turret. The portal is down for another 10 seconds, however, so they're not going to be able to dive right on top of him, but nevertheless, 10 seconds the turret will go down, which is just respawning back from the beginning of the battle.
Quite simple once more. Stays there, just poking, pushing this lane a little bit further, and there's nothing Idris can do. He's so behind on levels. He's 3 levels behind. No way, even if he had the items, he just wouldn't be doing enough damage.
Yeah, we're talking literally about 2 items behind on every single person on the enemy team for the side of Barbosa. And Wings Club just so far ahead. They're completely denied and starved goals from Barbosa's team by taking their jungle camps every single time. Alpha had a great early game, really pressuring the jungler on the side of Wings Club here and Druid, but completely flopped on the side in the next minute as the lane was too much to cover, and unfortunately they gave up the jungle and it's not been let up from there.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this game. I mean, it's just waiting for it to end at this point. The snowball is completely real. They use the portal now to get back in. We have another engage coming out, the ultimate from the Ardent, but Idris is already dead, and Alpha will soon follow. She gives a little explosion celebrating their demise. A little emoji there.
Druid under his own face. Oh my goodness, Druid.
That's what you get for sending some hearts.
I mean, just absolutely deleted under his own base. And through the CS3 carry 8th. And now they look just to completely clear their more jungle farm away. It's realistically PS enough, just a case of timing when actually Crazy Simple and Contraband and Druid are going to end the game. PS enough, I just don't see Barbosa coming back into this game at all.
Yeah, it's pretty well. I think they could have finished the game already if they tanked that turret on this previous team fight. Let's see if they win this team fight as well. Probably, yeah, Idris is already running away from very fed
He's already dead.
Blackfeather. Now he used his ultimate. Now he's dead. Now Alpha using the portal to try to get back, but misses the portal. Blackfeather explains where it is. It's right there. Just need to enter it. And yeah, this game is pretty much over. They're gonna take the choke point turret and hopefully finish up the other 2. And fastest game we had so far in the tournament. Pretty one-sided. Very well played from the side of WinX Club. Totally dominating against Barbosa here.
Under the OD loot platform as well. Now, Wings Club, we know how dominant they can be in this 3v3 meta. They all play 3v3 plenty. Druid, no info is 3v3 plays, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's just going to be a complete stomp going against the side of Barbosa. 11 minutes. They survived as long as they could, but no more. And it will be the game going to Wings Club as they will progress.
Fastest game we had so far on the tournament. Well played, WinX Club. You move on in the tournament. This is the end of your road, Barbosa, so far. So thank you for playing. Come back soon. And I like, the game was so fast. I don't know what we're supposed to do now. Are we supposed to
you
wait?
just blink and it's gone.
We should have like a small break for the next teams to be ready. Are we gonna try to get them on a little bit earlier?
Yeah, we will try to get them on a little bit earlier, but
yeah, we could just take a small break. That was an extreme stomping from the side of
Yeah.
Wings Club.
I think I need to explain to the viewers actually that this was an open tournament, so that meant that everybody could join in. The first 16 teams that joined in is the teams that we are seeing playing, and sometimes it doesn't seem fair with the tier, but I do believe that even if you're a lower tier, you can play good against.
You still deserve a chance, right?
The tier, yeah, it shouldn't matter.
And that's also how you learn. I mean, you're so used to playing against people.
So
on the
that
same
it
tier.
can make a big difference. They are just dominating, and I gave
Hope
the
they learned
Barbosa,
something
like,
from the game.
a thumbs up because they did the absolute best they could.
Yeah, and it's important to still play, even if you know you are at a disadvantage. That's how dreams are accomplished, when you try your hardest against all odds. So
That is
good effort, Barbosa.
absolute
Thank you
truth.
for playing the tournament. Hope you guys evolve with your mistakes and do better next time.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about this next team coming up, this next matchup, because Jambo versus Johnny Tunes Incorporated here. PS enough. Jambo are a team that, if you do not play the Vainglory scene, it is almost unavoidable if you do play the Vainglory scene to not know these players. Misty, Onyx, Prolito, Rafa Hat, and Make Me Doki Doki. These 4 players are known so well in the Vainglory competitive scene. I think, honestly, looking at Johnny Tunes' side, they've got Ragnar 576, Trodak, Zsorga Mogo, and PC Roland. I think they're going to be up for another tough time.
Let's see how that works out. We're starting to invite the players, so we should have them available to start the game relatively early. So 1 minute or 2, get yourself some water, get yourself a bathroom
That's what
break.
I'm doing. I'm getting my water. I got it.
Get your
I
water
drank
going,
it already.
stay hydrated. And don't forget your grate.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Don't
Thank
forget
you
your
so
grade.
much. Yeah. Yeah. Even the stomp in 11 minutes, you're still great. Don't worry.
We're also inquiring about the bans.
Yeah, well,
Jumbo
Jambo.
currently bans the Churnwalker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Churnwalker is an interesting ban. We have seen Churnwalker bans before in this tournament so far. Obviously, Churnwalker is one of these 3v3 heroes, but if you combine all the hooks and then you get that immediate trespass onto 2-3 members, you completely win the fight. In the late game, if you do choose to give Churnwalker away, you end up having a really, really tough time, because the sustain even on Churnwalker is so hard to out-damage.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
look
We
at
saw
this,
some
guys.
Churnwalker
I-
yesterday. Go on,
I
Wicked.
just have to say that I do appreciate teams that are in on time and like even a little bit before time, because
Oh
we
man,
have our
everybody
team
in.
set.
Let's go.
We have our team set and can actually start up game 2.
Man, straight back into the action for the next and final game of the first round matches. And after this, guys, we will be going into the quarterfinal matches for tonight. So do not go away once this match is over. We will be continuing with 4 quarterfinal games to see who will be going on to the serious games in the semi-finals and the finals in the best of 3s in the semis and the best of 5 in the finals.
Do we have our bands out?
No,
for
we're
this
missing
season?
a ban from the side of Stony Tunes. Let's see if they reply.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about the Churnwalker ban, Wicked?
Sean Walker.
We saw yesterday Churnwalker being
He is
played.
annoying. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could play him.
So do I.
But because he can like seriously dominate the game. Like if you have team players that like back you up with the Sharn, you can just delete.
Exactly.
He is
man.
so
I mean,
strong.
that
He
is
is
true.
so
It just
strong.
deletes you. It just removes you from the game. I mean, just get out of Vainglory, basically, when the Churnwalker comes in, because he is making room for himself. And as we say, like, when you get 3 hooks, even 4 hooks if you've got it on an objective as well, such as a gold miner on a Churnwalker, it is so hard to out damage him in the early game because he sustains so much. It is really great at this zoning out and team fight wide control, where he can obviously pull members in, trespass them down, slow them even with the hooks that he has.
We have the information on the other ban. It's going to be Black Feathers. We have all secondary bans in. We're about to start the match. If Make Me
Just
Doki
waiting.
Doki will restart his game. I'm a big fan of Doki Doki Literature Club, so I respect Make Me Doki Doki a lot. I just wanted to let everyone know that.
You're a big fan, PSN.
I would respect him more if he could actually join us right now.
If you join the game,
Not
exactly.
blaming you, Doki, but please, come on.
They're restarting the game.
There we go. So we've got into
Okay,
the
here we
game.
go. I'm gonna start it now.
Let's go.
And we are off.
Deploy.
Yeah, deploy.
Finding a match for your
Yeah.
party.
Yeah. Just going to sit here in the lobby as we move into the second and final group stage game. The first ban, obviously the bans are the Churmwalker and the Black Feather, so they will not be available to be picked, guys. As the second bans in this tournament, we do have a secondary ban for 3v3, just to allow some more strategy into these games here. Still, Misty Onyx choosing a ban. Looks like the Sky will be the first to go off the board.
Sky is so oppressive on 3 vs 3, a worthy ban. Curious to see what the other ban will be. We have a lot of options. Petal also very oppressive on 3 vs 3. For example, might be ban option. Also Vox, we've seen a lot of Vox being played yesterday. It's quite annoying with that versatility of both his CP and weapon build. But apparently it's Koshka. They have something against cats. Don't like no cat people, no people impersonating cats around here. So no Koshka for us tonight. Feels bad, man. Let's see what Jumbo will pick instead.
Exactly, we do see the Koshka picked banned away. Sorry, it looks like the Kensei will be picked up. Kensei is so good at diving with obviously the Kensho into the path of the Ronin, can just immediately destroy several members of the team with a stun. And I would expect to see something like a Baptiste would be really good to counter this Kensei, to avoid him, to get in. If you can ordain him down, to solo him out, it's going to be harder for him to find a way onto your backline, especially picking up something like a Celeste. Grace does work well. Again, if you can block out the path of Ronin, you can then stun him up with Holy Nova.
It's a bit hard to land that stun against the Kensei. I would actually do Tony here against the
Tony or
the
Baptiste
Kensei.
is really good.
Yeah, Baptiste also very good. Anything that can stun him up for a short while as the rest of the team does his job on him would be ideal. Ilva can also be very interesting against Kensei as well.
Ilva's so strong as well. If the Kensei does activate, the trap from the Ilva just root in place, and he's got nowhere to move. And that's when you burst him down with something like a Celeste. You can even double that up with the core collapse. I mean, still room. They still have to pick a jungler. Ishtar will be the last pick, so it will be a Kensei moving into the jungle. And this is going to be such an oppressive lane with both the Catherine and the Ishtar. I feel like this Celeste is going to have a very, very difficult game, because until Celeste reaches level 8, it's going to be very hard for her to find a way to outrange Prolito on this Ishtar with the blades and the ability just to throw them under on the pressure Ragnar on this Celeste.
I'm very curious about two things on this. First one, the draft on the side of the Jumbo, having both the Catherine and the Ishtar. Both of them got nerfed on this previous patch. So I'm wondering if they read the patch notes or if they just playing using these heroes again without noticing
still really
the patch
strong.
notes. I mean, yeah, but I think there are other better CP laners right now. But well, let's see how they play her. And the other question that I'm wondering is Jewel really the best option against against
Jewel
the Kensei and an Ishtar and a Catherine? I mean, she's gonna get stunned up and tanked down.
The Thunderstrike on the Jewel as well got debuffed from 200% to 170% weapon power ratio damage. Just like we've been paused into the game. I
didn't even know that it's possible to pause the game.
Oh, I'm definitely screenshotting that. I've been paused out the game, guys. Take it away, PS enough when I get back.
So how do we unpause it? Anyone knows? Is it a special hotkey?
It's been paused. Oh no. Man, I didn't know it was impossible to pause the game there, but it certainly seems like it. Is that we have been stuck in the game? Technical difficulties, guys. We will get back to you.
I'm wondering if it's like a special hotkey for the viewer mode. No, we're back.
We're back in the game.
That was trippy. That was some trippy stuff right there.
I feel like I was watching the game.
The battle for
I've
the
seen this happen on
Halcyon Fold has
Procasters
begun.
before. I didn't know it was possible for us common mere mortals that only have the desktop version from Steam to also pause the game, but apparently it is. We keep learning new stuff every day. Anyways, onto the Halcyon Fold. We have some Legion laid out. We're ready for the Barrier Tree and to pop up any second now and start this first engage. Hopefully we'll get some first blood going. Get those juices flowing early on. Grace is just sitting there, waiting for something. Not to steal the Barrier Tree Ant, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Grace just really defensive there. Could have probably gone in. There's very Polito on this time. I do expect the favourite, obviously, to be the side, of course, of Jambo. They do have these players that we all know and love and respect for their skill in the game, especially in 3v3 meta right now. These are 3v3 oriented players. Mr. Onyx there with Polito. It's going to be very hard, as I say, for the Celeste to really out-damage.
Ooh, already stunned up.
Yeah,
It's forced to pop the flask to stay alive.
Yeah, the flash.
Not a good omen.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good omen for things to come for sure, Highland. Jul is rotating now up to the lane, trying to catch someone off guard. Maybe an Ishtar, a wild Ishtar. Nope, that core collapse not quite connecting. And the jump also not quite connecting. So Ishtar will manage to get away. And meanwhile, Kensei went back home and it's coming fresh out of the shop with one extra weapon.
Yeah,
Another
Kensei
stun,
just jumped in
another
here
stack.
now. Looks like he wants to try find a fight in now. So Mongo, sorry, he just had to pop the flask. And Rodak also going low, about half health. The Ishtar really putting the pressure on right now.
Yeah, and those blades like take so many hits to get rid of. It's not like the petals from the minions from the pedal. It seems like it takes some extra hits to clear them off. And it's gonna be a very hard game from Sunny Tunes, in my humble opinion. Let's see how they work out. We saw in this first engage how hard it is to get those stuns. Even if they have 3 stuns in their kit, it's really hard to catch Kensei because of his mobility. Another jump also missed. And now we have Kensei versus Jewel. Let's see who wins. Grace comes in to do the equalizer. Holy Nova now caught Kensei. And the healing barrier went for the Jewel.
Yeah, how the Holy Nova PS enough just to zone away the Kensei from being able to take back, but we'll have to give up one of those front minions there now with 45 gold going into Polito's pocket just to put him a bit further ahead. The CS obviously still, as we talk about a CS game, we are about double CS on about 18-9 on Polito against Ragnar here, and Mr. Yonix as well putting a very good work into the Catherine as well, all the up to 5 stacks in just over 3 minutes.
It's all about those last hits. And it can be hard to farm as the Celeste.
Yeah, it's what we talked about. Like the early game on Celeste is still hard to take up against Nishtar and obviously at Catherine. And I think that putting that Celeste as the first pick, they just really got counted hard by obviously the Catherine and the Ishtar then picked up the lane.
Another engage coming out here. Holy Nova not quite only catching the Catherine there, and now Jewel in a bad place. Kensei goes in, tries to kill him off, but still very low early on in the game. Kensei needs a few levels to ramp up, scale up, manage to get his stun online, some items, and then he really comes online. Stun, not quite working there. Well, managed to get one more stack, and now Ishtar needs to be careful. But the ultimate from Celeste is not online. Here comes Kensei trying to get someone. He might be able to. He only manages to stun up the Grace, who uses the Holy Nova back and runs away to safety. So just a little trade back and forth, but not really much. But you really miss that the ultimate from Celeste being online. If there was already online that what's it called? I'm getting a blank.
The Holy Nova?
No, the ultimate from Celeste.
Solar
Storm, yeah. If the Solar Storm was online, that would have been a very different team fight there.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, the Solar Storm is not quite there. Level 5, not level 6 there for the ultimates to come online for both sides of this, the teams in this matchup here. PS enough, but the farm, we'll just take a quick look. We are obviously still double. Polito versus Ragnar 33 to 18, and even. On the other side, we do see Trodak is 22 farm to 18 on the Kensei. Perhaps has been seeing a couple of wave. So some has gone a bit wide, just something Mystionics there, but we'll tank that up with the bubble and reflect all that damage back onto the side of Skinny Tunes.
Now another stun there onto the Catherine. They do have a lot of stuns on their kit. That's one of the things that it's highly in their favor on the side of Stoonie Tunes Inc. Here comes the Kensei. Can he do something? No.
Oh, Blast Tremor misses. That's going to be down for a very long cooldown, 80 seconds there. And the fight continues out here. PS enough. Zorgo Morgo now in a bad place, but the Jewel jumps in now. Path of the running straight on. Who has been used by the side of the Jambo team, and now make Doki Doki is trying to find a way in, but can't find it. Path running obviously has been used. The buy intervention is still up for Grace should they dive in.
This Jewel holding on pretty well. I was expecting it to struggle a little bit more, but I guess the real struggle is going to be on the late game when Kensei finally comes online.
Yeah, I mean, Ragnar trying to stop the backport there, but can't get under that turret and take the damage. Just going to throw a bit of shade there for each other. The stacks still continuing up for Catherine. 14 stacks in 6.5 minutes is excellent for Mystionics. Really putting work in for...
Yeah.
Obviously the perk 14 shield and armor this early on is going to be really important and vital for Catherine to getting ahead. The Crucible has already been brought up for Catherine as well. Now you can buy up the War Treads as well, so that's going to be 2 items. Flares also brought up, so perhaps looking for a bit of an engage through the jungle as we move into the future.
Yeah, a nice priority on the Crucible there for the Catherine. The Grace prioritized the Rook's Decree, which also is okay, gives you a little barrier.
Nah.
I mean, she already has the heal on her kit.
Like, I agree, yeah, but like, if you got the heal, like, just go Crucible, like, because you're up against the path.
Yeah, but she's gonna need the Crucible, that's true.
Like, you're up against 2 ultimate this lead blocks, and if you don't block them, you're in for a really tough time. And I think the Rook's Decree really doesn't work because you've only got obviously the passive running now coming in. Sorry, as the fight still works out, the Jewel does jump on to this unit. It's a Divine Intervention 400 health back up to Trodak. Now making Doki Doki trying to go back in again, but the damage is too much for him to go into without Polito there as well. The Ascension still up for Ishtar, so they could continue to fight. Oh, you know they're not going to land on anyone. That's also missing Silver Move. Now the jump comes in for Trodak, but making Doki Doki still coming in there. Barriers come, but Holy Never is going to land on the one, but blocked out. Never mind. Now making Doki Doki still on the fight. He's still surviving, but the Helogenesis here from Celeste too
No
much.
one dies. Everyone survives.
Yeah.
What a team fight. So close back and forth, and everyone gets out alive. But it seemed to go a lot more in favor of Stoonie Tunes. They're forcing the retreat from the side of Jump. They might have a kill there, but the Holy Nova not quite connecting. They will lose a turret though. Trodak wants some kills. Going dangerously low. No, needs to be careful. The Ishtar retribution will be big. And the Wild Kensei suddenly emerges. Solar Storm, not quite connecting anyone.
Yeah, not going to land on Polito. I mean, 22 stacks, we talk about his Catherine. Once again, I mean, does sound like an old granny, you know, but 22 stacks and this Catherine doing really well. I mean, just so well played by Mystionics once again. Obviously does have, looking like they're going to work towards a fountain now on the side of Mystionics. Dragon's Eye also has been brought up by Polito there on the Ishtar, so going to be stacking up through the Ascension, going to get those stacks online. The Frostburn from the Celeste, really good item. I think that Celeste is going to need this Frostburn to slow down the dive potential coming here from Make Me Doki Doki, Polito and Misty Oryx on Team Jambo.
I don't know if this is gonna be able to slow down much because Ishtar with the Ascension is just so bloody fast, and Kensei will already be on top of you and you will be stunned by the time you see him coming, so I don't know how effective it's gonna be on the practical terms, but they seem to be holding on pretty good. I was expecting them to be struggling a lot more.
But like we're winning the lane, and now Celeste is level 8.
Yeah.
She can come online, and this is where the Celeste power spike has hit. Now that they can start to get ahead here, and despite the fact that they're behind the farm majorly, they're still picking up a fight. Now the full collapse does miss on, hit onto 2 people. Sorry, but Miss is surely going to fall down. Be careful. sorry, as Polito doesn't actually hit the Ascension. I'm going to mix up my words here because Polito is absolutely obliterating the fight, but it is Ragnar who is the sole survivor here for the side of Strinitudes. Now, just surviving under his turret. Polito, you see that Ascension, you see the Dragon's Eye stacks come up, and you see just the entire enemy side melt away.
Yeah, and just not enough damage coming out from Celeste in Retribution. Like that Frostburn is not enough. Just
that's a CS difference. She's so far behind in CS.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the items. Although she's doing a good game and she's won the turret, she doesn't have the items to back her up.
I think the turret was mostly the pressure from Jewel that early on managed to counter Kensei somewhat effectively, but now with Kensei coming back online already has level advantage. I think the game will be starting to turn around and we'll see Jumbo dominating a lot more.
Exactly. I mean, I just think that Celeste is so far behind on CS. We're talking not 20, we're talking 50 CS behind Polito. That is major at 11 minutes, and it shows with 3,500 gold lead for the side of Jambo in this match here, because of that deficit. Unfortunately, all the fault of Ragnar there on his CS ability. But maybe Doki Doki is going in, but Holy Van the Clap's going to miss a jump. Not going to matter. It's Kodak now in the back line of the fight. To try and escape here, maybe Doki Doki, the Soul Storm does land. He's trying to go in, half the room, surely going to go in. Kento being used to just absolutely melt the side of the Celeste. Now Trodak stacking up and just melted away by the side of Doki Doki. The knife still going into the Morgo, but not going to matter as he will survive. Still 2 turrets up, so can defend himself. The Sionix going to push that lane and provide pressure for that enemy support.
Yeah, a bit of a bad engage there. The Jewel wanted to be smart and stun that Kensei, but missed. It just ended up being targeted by 3 members of the opponent team, and that cost them the team fight. The Kraken is now up. Let's see if they're gonna go straight into it, or wait for another team fight.
The build out of this case is really weird. I don't like it. I mean, she's now gone Celestial Shroud. Feels like she's building more towards herself than for her team. And with no Crucible to block out the stuns to the Blast Rim and the Path to Ronin, and no Fountain to defend against the Ascension from the Ishtar, she's really gonna hinder her team more than she knows, I think. Obviously, buying Root's Decree as well isn't that great. She does buy up the Atlas Problem, so at least will be able to counter the Kensei from making Doki Doki somewhat.
I like Root's Decree, but more when you already have some other items in your belt, either offensive or defensive. Then Root's Decree really
she relies on like her abilities with Root's Decree, but realistically, she only has a Holy Note in obviously the dive. From the Grace, it's not really quick abilities you can get up here, and unfortunately she's not going to land that perk on the barrier too often. The Crucible is not there for the stun zone, but the Ascension is PS enough as Trodak now comes in. The Blast Tremor, there's no Crucible to defend against that either. Now Sorgo Mogo is going to fall. Holy Nova is not going to be enough to defend him. Trodak now surely going to fall a double kill for Polito. Is now he searches for Rag. No, cannot find him. Perhaps he will find a triple kill, and that will be the ace, and that will shove down the first minion waves into the first type for sure, as they set their eyes onto the Kraken piercer.
Yeah, good reversal there. Kensei got caught completely out of position there with the stun for the Holy Nova, followed up by the Jewel and jumping on top of her. Just got deleted, which is what you want to do against the Kensei. But Ishtar with the Ascension just completely dominated that team fight, and the CS difference is just too big. Solar Storm trying to steal this Kraken away. I don't think it's gonna quite win, but now Holy Nova tries to get it as well, but misses. Went for the side of Jumbo, and now a team fight coming out.
The Crucible not there to defend. That was getting easy. Waves cannot defend against this double stun, and Holy Nova just to buy some more time, but it doesn't matter as the Ascension is going to be back up in about 5 seconds. This Chuck trying to zone them out, might just find a kill before it's even up, and now Trodak in trouble. Now one member already fallen, Celeste falls, now Jewel also fallen. Gracie only member surviving, not gonna work out very well, unfortunately, as Polito is going to hunt him down, tries to find a kill there. Holy Nova will survive, the random intention will make him survive a bit longer, 700 healing, but is not enough. Celestial Shroud not gonna defend him against this engagement, as they just fire down more and more turrets. still 4 seconds, just going to be respawning. They're going to let that Kraken push now as they search for the Crystal Tree and they search for their jungle and make them further and further behind. They're always 7,000 gold PS enough behind in this game.
Yeah, pretty one-sided so far, but I mean, the Jewel and the Grace have been managing to deny the Kensei very well. The problem is the Ishtar. Ishtar is already so fed compared to Celeste, is like more than double the CS from Celeste, and that difference is substantial enough to just... I think Ishtar could probably 1v3 at this point, which is saying a lot, so... I don't think they really have much of a chance unless they can stun up the Ishtar. But if they do that, they're gonna let the Kensei roam around free. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. And the only thing they can do is wait for a further late game where Celeste finally comes online with all the items, and then they might have a chance.
Exactly, PS enough. We are now 15, 16 minutes into the game. 37,000, 30,000 gold in favor of Jambo here. Maybe Doki has got caught out here, and unfortunately he's in a bit of a hard rock place for Polito here with the Ascension. Surely going to add Vayne right now, just going to be burst down. Blastrom has been used Ascension now, going to attack Trodak. It's going to be 2 kills now. Divine Intervention not going to survive for long run, unfortunately, as Silver Morgan will just be absolutely shredded, and that's going to be the game. PS enough as they search down these turrets. They're going to be taking one out. Missiona's going to tank this, and now it's going to be 1-4 in 15 seconds on the Celeste. Still 10 seconds to get to the second turret. The minions are coming in. This is going to be the game, and it will be Jambo moving on as your final team, moving on to the quarterfinal matches.
But the reversal there from Make Me Doki Doki, he was caught between a rock and a bad place, and he managed to turn around, not get stunned against both the Holy Nova and the jump from Jewel. Manages to stay unstunned there, and then just stun 3 members of the opponent team and just completely turn the fight around. So very well played there, turning a bad position into a good reversal. Well played from both teams, but Jambo carries on the win. Good job, Stony Tunes. Well played. See you next time. Your road is over at the tournament for now, and Jambo moves on to the next phase of the tournament.
Yeah, now we get into the nitty-gritty final limit matches. We will still be, guys, having 2 bands, and we will still be having a best of 1 elimination match. So whoever loses in the quarterfinal will not advance to the semi-finals. We're pretty harsh, you know. 16 teams to 4 in 2 days, but that's how it goes. If you want the money at the end, if you want that prize pool, if you want that ice at the end, you've got to be prepared for these elimination matches. You've got to come in swinging.
Yep. Next up, we will have Roland Gaming versus White Umber, both winners from yesterday matches. Don't know if they are quite ready or not. Wicked Snow, do you have any information on that?
Yeah, we are 15 minutes early, so
yeah.
We
are a little bit ahead, which is good.
We're ahead.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit. I'm gonna. I had to remake the party. This is Vainglory after all.
We try turning it off and on again.
Yeah.
It usually helps.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
I mean, let's talk about these
smooth experience,
teams, right, guys? Like Roland Gaming versus White Umber, both winners from yesterday's games. On Roland Gaming side, we have Rujin Nymphex, Alice DW, and Dormicum. And then White Umber, we have Bisen, Asato Games, Waja 3000, and Amelius 3000. So really interesting teams. We definitely saw Valorant Gaming with that surprise win. We thought Valorant Gaming were out in that first game and managed to come back. White Umber ultimately did actually win their game pretty easily in the end, I think. So it's going to be interesting to see how White Umber are going to go up against Valorant Gaming, who we have seen already eliminate perhaps what we could argue from seeing in the first minutes of their first game, what we thought was going to be a loss for them.
Yeah, definitely they did a very good fight against Shippuden on yesterday's game. So I'm very curious to see how Roland Gaming will hold their own against this more this other team from White Umbra. White Umbra played pretty decently. Both Vissen and Asato games. I've seen them play quite a few times. So I think it's gonna be a very interesting match.
And
yeah,
I think this match will be like pretty even. Like I think the teams are pretty even when it comes to tiers and experience.
For sure.
We still haven't had word from the teams, but we are early, as we mentioned, so it might take a little bit longer for teams to come online.
I think our Durgan is in the background chasing them down as we speak.
Yeah, because we are early, but we will see if we, with the action guys, to go straight into the first of the quarterfinal matches. We have 4 more quarterfinal single elimination matches. Obviously, 2 bands will be one ahead of the game and win 1 in draft phase. So going to provide a bit more strategy through there, guys. But continuing on, I mean, do we think that perhaps looking at yesterday's games, we can decide this one team that are strong, or as you say, Wicked, are they just dead even?
I think they're definitely even, but I would like to see Roland Gaming step it up again and win this one. That's my personal favorite.
Man, you got favorites, Caster?
Yeah, I mean,
Favorite.
I'm a biased caster. I'm allowed to be biased caster.
Oh man, says it as it is.
but we do have some good games coming up after this as well, with the Tox Armada versus the Sexy Pineapples that won from the forfeit yesterday.
Sexy
they didn't even get to play. So we have not seen what
So
those guys
sad.
can do yet. Yes.
So sad not being able to see Sexy Pineapples in action.
Yes,
I was
but
heartbroken,
we
really.
will today. We will today.
And do you know what? We even have epic matches after that. We've also got Divergent Fate versus Mosports. It's game 3. But also what we saw earlier today already, Wings Club versus Jambo. 2 teams we know are really high skill tier in this tournament. It's going to be very interesting to see how, in fact, who will be moving on to the semi-finals, because the semi-finals through these teams are definitely going to look pretty stacked.
We have the bans already in formation, so apparently Dargan Kern managed to get in touch with people. Roland Gaming will be banning Catherine, and White Umbra will be banning Sky.
Nice.
So definitely
now we
interesting
just have
bans.
to wait for the guys to come up.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced with
And
Catherine being so OP right now. I'm just not. I think the nerf was quite substantial, and there are a lot better. There are a lot better captain role picks available right now.
Yeah, for sure, guys.
Have to wait and see if the players come online. Highlandorf is asking for a break behind cameras. I'm ratting you out, Highland.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm suggesting. Very good. 10 minutes, because obviously we are waiting on games. I can't believe you went that low, PS. No, I can't believe you just went. and even
He went there. He went
You
there.
changed what I said. That's it. I'm done. Yeah. No.
You need to stay hydrated. But hey, don't forget your grade.
I've got to drink that water. You know, you spilled the tea for me.
Water is important.
Definitely it is. Apparently Valorant Gaming are in game, so we can get them in to the draft. Ooh, I'm not took my water. Apologies. That will appear on the camera, but certainly looking to get them online, guys. I mean, looking at the feature matches, right, the quarterfinals, guys. We also have Tox Armada versus Sexy Pineapples. Pretty stacked roster inside Tox Armada, if I do say so myself, guys, with
Yeah,
Oski,
definitely.
Suki, Valhalla, and Fez. It's going to be interesting to see how Sexy Pineapples as well, because of course they did not get a game yesterday. They actually got through to the second round without having to do anything. They're just being sexy, you know?
Being sexy is enough to carry you through this tournament.
Exactly, but
If you're a
that's not so
pineapple,
much
at least.
I think we might get sliced by Toxamada, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, that will be put into question to later today when they face against the Toxic Armada.
Yeah,
Will the sexiness prevails against the toxiness? That's what
I think Toxamada are gonna turn him off, to be honest. But definitely we do have one team. We're just waiting for the other team to come in, guys, very shortly. So we'll just be a couple minutes to get the next game up and ready for you guys, and with you shortly.
Yeah, we have all members from Roland Gaming already waiting in party. We're waiting for White Umbra to show up. There's still 8 minutes to the assigned hour, so they might just be taking their time. We have to wait a little bit longer. And Island Wolf, I had to make fun of you. You're doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever, man. But like, moving on. For sure. I think definitely Wicked. If you got any like favorite matches that we're looking forward to for the quarterfinals?
Definitely looking forward to Fox Armada versus 6 okay. Mo Sports against Divergent Fate. We have so much good games coming up. Like this is the best, like, the 4 best teams that we're like gonna see now. So 8 best teams. Like,
Well, 8 certainly, yeah. And I think I honestly like it. I wonder what we're gonna see from Rand and White Umbra, especially because obviously the winner of this match will either be going up against Sexy Pineapples or Toxamada. I mean, realistically, I'm gonna pull a PS Snuffy and say like they probably Toxamada are the favourites to go through. I mean, it's just there. Like we haven't seen anything from Sexy Pineapples, and we know how good Toxamada are, and the names just say it all. I mean, Oscuri, obviously Suki, Valhalla, like 3 names there that are just absolutely like top. Like Oscuri is number 1 in EU right now for 3v3, and he has been for many months. So it's going to be hard to knock him down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's going to be.
Even the pros can have a bad day.
Even they can have a bad day. Yeah, but it's going to be tough for either Round Gaming or White Umbra, even if it goes through to go up against them. It looks like perhaps we could be seeing Toxamada advancing to the final already if we look into the future.
Right now, the game that we have coming up shortly
Still waiting for Vissen and Astatu Games to join in.
Yep. Waiting for a couple of members from White Umbra. We already have all full roster of Roland Gaming. Waiting for the full teams to be here.
It's gonna make it like a little bit better, and a little bit more fair when they play the games. If it's like 3 versus 3.
3 versus 3, yeah. I mean, that's why they don't let you play 3 versus 2.
Yes, exactly.
They think of everything at SEMC to make sure you have a buttery smooth experience.
Buttery smooth.
And
now it's just one person missing. Can we see if we can get that person online?
Yeah, it's almost ready. So we just a couple more minutes, guys, as we get. We are early, of course. That game did finish very quickly. Once again, we had 2 quick.
We had 2 games that finished very quickly.
Yeah, so filling in the sun.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. I mean, just have to put up a bit of fight. Wingstop and Jambo both are 2 teams, and I can't wait once again to see them in this quarterfinal match. We get to watch them again the same day. We get to watch them twice, and that is going to be an epic matchup to end tonight off. And I can't wait for that. But for now, obviously, we do have 3 once again quarterfinal matches here for you guys. Round Gaming versus White Umbra, and then going to Toxamada versus 6 Pineapples, and then Divergent Fate versus Mo Sports for the 3rd quarterfinal, before we will ultimately be seeing, of course, Winx Club versus Jambo once again going into the quarterfinal matches tonight, and that will be hitting your screens at 7:38 and then 8:30 respectively for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarterfinals Central European time.
Yep. Still 1 player missing to get this game underway. Maybe you can get a sub in. If you watch out 3000, do a sudden appearance. Or not.
We are hunting the people.
Yeah. Yeah,
Try
for
not
sure. I mean, let's talk about the bands, right? So, looking at the bands, we obviously got the Decathlon and the Sky band. I mean, that tells me for sure that they are denying engagements from both teams. Perhaps they're looking for something more defensive to play in this game.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're still curious to see if we'll have the usual 3 versus 3 broken heroes, Black Feather, Grumpjaw. Vox obviously had a lot of Vox yesterday.
I'm not a fan of Grumpjaw. I mean, I know Grumpjaw's pretty good in 3v3, but if you just go a liar or something, just bulwark away the Grumpjaw, and it's really hard for Grumpjaw often to actually find a way back into the backline. Obviously, as we move into later games, we will expect Crucibles to come out more and more, as we all see the better teams come through. Into the semi-finals and even some of these quarterfinal matches, we expect the Crucibles to be on point.
And guys, we have everybody in
We do.
place.
Let's go into the first.
Let's go before they
match,
change
guys.
their mind.
I know, right? Quick! Get in the game.
Quick.
A wild Watcher appears on the draft. So we'll have wrong mode. Private blind instead of private draft.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops. I'm just checking so everybody is like with me.
Make sure that
here.
everyone is paying
Checking you're
attention.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
My
are.
bad, guys. My bad, guys.
Carry on. There we go. Proper draft this time. We have Roland Gaming on the left side on the blue team. We have White Umbra on the right side on the red team. Reminder that the bands were Catherine and what was the other one?
Sky.
Catherine and Sky. Catherine and Sky. That was the second bands for both teams. Let's see what are the primary bands. Apparently, it's gonna be Vox.
Yeah, Hawk's so strong in 4.9 with the buff to
Yeah, deny that versatility. That it's more like hype of the hero. Like everyone's playing it again more to test the weapon path again because of the update.
Strong. He's so strong because with the scaling to his level 1 to 12, he scales now his CP path, but also his weapon power buff and sonic zoom is all basic attack buffs, and that brings back the weapon power box. But also buffs the CP box, and in 3v3 when everyone is going to be so much closer together in these close team fights in corridors of the jungle and whatnot, you can see the box, and especially the wait for it from the box, so good, and it's so smart to ban that out straight away. We do see a dodge, that's what we're going to see in the game, but it looked like it was the Arden and the Catherine picked up, if I did see it correctly, that glimpse there on the side of White Umbra, who did pick those two picks up, but we'll be moving.
Maybe
back
that's why
into the
they
game.
cancelled, because they picked Catherine by mistake or something.
Yeah, for sure. We'll just get back into the game straight away, guys. For you, very quickly.
Vincent is asking on the chat. You said they banned Sky. Vincent is asking to check the Discord.
Yeah,
But
sure.
they didn't pick Sky. So let's see.
Yeah,
See if they have things figured out now. Arden getting picked.
yeah. Looks like Arden has been picked here for the side of Rowland Gaming here, and it will be up to the side of White Emperor to decide what we're going to be picking. I did see the Catherine there, so I would expect the Catherine to be picked up again, or if we're just going to be starting a new draft. Looks like the
Churnwalker.
Yeah.
It's good to see some Churnwalker again. We managed to have a glimpse of it yesterday in one of the matches. He's been banned quite often. Ooh, a Viola. I wonder if we're going to have a CP Viola. It's going to be interesting to see how she works out. Haven't seen much of her. Only been seeing her being played as the captain role. So curious to see her as a carry. On the side of Roland Gaming, we're going to have the Alpha, which we have been seeing a lot of on this tournament already. She manages to ramp up quite well. She's played aggressively, so let's see how that works out. And the Gwen will round up their composition. Gwen is pretty solid carry for 3 versus 3. I do like their draft. I think it's pretty solid. Let's see how White Umber responds with their last pick. What will be on that jungle? I would pick a Rhyme here, actually. Just to counter the
Swap
Alpha.
heroes.
Probably
Yeah,
be going for
Rona.
Rona. That's also a pretty interesting pick.
Yeah.
She does have that buff now that like she doesn't get stunned when she's on her ultimate, which is
Yeah, obviously the
really
rest miss.
useful.
Yeah, the red mist so good now with the ability just to ignore all CC abilities, including stuns, including slows, including sleeps, whatever else you want. And it's going to be so good as well with the work of Vissen on this Viola, who has the damage on dissonance and also the lullaby to CC them down for the Rona to jump into the fray, into the red mist, and absolutely clap the entire of the enemy team. Ninpex also going Gwen, so it's going to be interesting to see how Gwen goes up against Viola. Personally, I'm not a fan of CP Viola. I think she's a bit squishy. She can be bursted down by something like this Gwen, so it's going to be up to Ninpex. It's going to be up to Vincent to watch the position from the Viola to make sure that she can't be burst down by Gwen, which is really a burst-oriented hero.
And 2 weapon bits on Alpha as well, so I'm wondering if they're gonna do double weapon composition here or not. Interesting to see how
I
that
think
shapes up.
that would be a mistake, because then you just go full armor and then you just completely
Yeah. Might be just for the early game, for this early game skirmishes, and then she swaps back into CP with Aftershock or the main range Shatterglass. Let's see how it evolves. For now, they just take this barrier tree end without any resistance whatsoever. Now here comes the Shadowwalker and Rona trying to contest something. Put down those mortal wounds onto Alpha.
Yeah, and Infect is a bit
Take him
behind. Yeah, looks like the fight has gotten back in. Flasher will be the first to fall. Unfortunately, we're not able to take down him quick enough. And Infect here has won the fight, and now Emilius is going to be the next one forward. The Prime Director does secure a second kill for that Alpha. And will be 2-0 on the board, and a 1,000 goal lead already, opening up just 1.5 minutes into the game.
Yep, Rona biting more than she could chew there, but shouldn't really affect much the game on the long run. Violi putting down some pressure on this lane to compensate a little bit, making sure that there is some farm to be wasted away from this Gwen.
Yeah, they are going to lose 2 farm already, what I've seen. Also going to lose 3 farm there. So losing a couple of farm there from Gwen will affect her moving into this early game, where every farm is going to matter to get these core items on as fast as possible into the game. But you see that definitely aggressive cameras will have been placed in the bush, so it will be good for the side of White Umber. They will know when the rotations are coming into the lane.
I have another engage here for the barrier tree end. The Churnwalker putting down those chains. Manages to get the steal. Alpha is still quite strong though, even though she already has the reboot available. Rona going dangerously low. She might be able to die again here. She does indeed. And the reboot of Alpha is just you shouldn't fight against it. Churnwalker getting 2 people, but still gets nailed down. Viola left alone on the Halcyon fold. Bad engage once again from the side of White Umber. They need to play more carefully here. They can't go for these early engages. Not 3 versus 3. Not when they don't have the numbers advantage on their side. Trying to deny a bit more. Nice chains on the Churnwalker there, 3, but not enough to deny this barrier 3 and steal from the jungle. They need to be careful. Alpha trying to get some extra kills. She does get another one. She doesn't have the reboot though. Needs to be careful of that turret. Viola doesn't do the rotation, so not any kills to pay back.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. I think this thing should have actually rotated into the fight. Not really aware of, I think, what was happening in that. They could have definitely got a further 2 kills had Viola been there in the fight. CP Viola does do some damage and does have a decent laning phase here from the side of this end. With the Discords, Symphony though, but this is why I don't like it, because with the buffs to obviously Viola's Symphony, now she actually has the barrier does 7% of her max health, as a barrier whenever she uses Symphony onto an ally. The Symphonies go quicker, have a bigger hitbox to land on your allies, and also the actual base barrier was also buffed, and you can make that even greater with something like a passive play. And going CP, it basically mitigates one of your abilities.
I'm very curious to see how Viola CP works out. I haven't really seen her work in any games at all.
Yeah, Viola CP is better. This is where it comes online. This is dissonance, and definitely Viola could have just absolutely deleted Nymphex. Very defensive there. Definitely could have just run down that tower, this in there, and killed that Gwen. I think that was a bit of a mistake, but they will look to still take down Regent and this turret, as it will be the first objective of the game, falling for the side of White Umbra.
Okay, one turret that puts them back into the game a little bit in terms of gold. Only 2k difference, or 1k and a half. Let's see how things will evolve. They can still win the game, even despite those couple of throws from Rona there early on. She already has 3 kills on their belt.
Yeah,
Kills,
sure.
that's not really kills.
We are 5 minutes into the game, just enough with 5-0 to the board. For actually a side of round gaming, so despite all the gold seems to be going no way from like turret on the side of White.
Another jungle invade here.
Obviously, round gaming in the lead with 1,500 gold in the lead there. You know, Viola's still ahead in farm though. Both teams obviously have missed farm. Only 35 and the Viola is the best. So definitely missed a couple farms there. So it will be putting both of these carries behind her in what they could be in this game here. Obviously Viola does need to go back and shop 5 crystal bits to convert that into a tier 3 item as soon as possible. Gwen has already picked up some solid legs.
Yeah. Take a look at the CS. Gwen is 37 and Viola is 38. So, well, I 38 now. Both died, so they're not that big of an advantage. But it's. I do believe that Viola is slightly ahead.
I think the advantage comes here from the
Mm.
Alpha, right? Like the Alpha's double the CS Waja is, and it's that pressure that they've been putting onto the jungle.
Yeah. It's more the jungle that's really snowballing this. And you don't want a snowballed Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha early game is going to be strong, and now what looks like the Alpha actually is quite out of position here. He's choosing to be engaged now out of the fray realistically from the Rona. And then Amelius now 3,000 looking in trouble. Precipice has been blocked, really well done to the side of Lucian there. Now the thing has been used. Amelius looking to be shut down with the fine direct, but not to find nothing so tanky. They're trying to go for the support first, really to take out Raja, and now he's might actually survive as he manages to get into the fray right back on out there. They should have taken out the Rona first while that corner was up, and then take out the Chum Walker. He can't jump away, but we do actually see Viola, this is Squishy Viola, taken out very early on by the Gwen, and also choosing to go Spellfire. I think it's a mistake. You're not going to block that much there of Spellfire. Your ability on your dissonance already does mortal wounds. You do not need a Spellfire to double that up. The only thing you're going to be doing with the Spellfire is create a mortal wound stat on the Discord.
But you do know that double Spellfire is the new meta right now, right?
Oh, no, for sure.
You saw that game on MPL where Celeste had double Spellfire, so now it's new meta. So you want that double mortal wound.
Clearly
You didn't
double
notice that while you were
Spellfire.
casting.
No, we didn't notice it. We would expect it better in our games than double Spellfire.
That's the new meta right now. Sure, Celeste, play double Spellfire.
Yeah, I think Alternating Current would have been a much better first sighting for this end here to really attack the side of Nymphex and go around gaming through the basic attacks, because that's where the damage is going to be coming from your basic attacks from the Viola here.
They should be doing the gold miner here. I don't know why they're hesitating so much. They don't have the vision. Now
Yeah,
they saw
are
that camera there.
Gold ahead. They could just press them. They could even bait them in with the objective, and then get the team fight. Nymphex do have the vision. They've got obviously the scout traps there online, and Amelia's still trying to find a way into the fight here with the channel, because the Nymphex still about half health. Fight looks like it has broken out. The Crucible is going to be late on the Tretpass there, but
Wash looking like he's going to be the next target. This has been by Listen, and now they're looking to go in. The red list is doing a lot of damage, but find direction onto the explosion there. It's not going to keep off Wash and managed to escape there. Now they look like they're in a bit of trouble there. This high does miss, and obviously Gwen looks like she will be going down. Obviously, the flash get on Listen does keep them alive. Amelius looking like he's in trouble. The distance there. Listen now absolutely deleted. Amelius on the backside, going to also fall, and now Wash at full health, trying to clean up desperately. But the healing scan there from Alice misses the prime directive, trying to keep this Ardent alive. Does manage to take the pressure away from the Ardent, who will survive, and it will be an ace from thanks to the Alpha, who actually turns their attention to the Crystal Sentry. Bit of a mistake, not realizing how strong this Alpha has snowballed really into the lead with this lead in the jungle that they managed to secure.
Yeah, the advantage of Alpha is just overwhelming right now. The Rona needs her breaking point to really do anything at all, and even then she will still be quite behind.
Oh my god, 10, 13,
2 versus 3 actually, but Alpha's still cleaning up house, and Churnwalker can't do anything. Rona left alone with Mortal Wound, tried to spin to win, but...
That's there on the Alpha PS, so much damage, it's impossible. Another ace. It looks like Rowling Gaming have just completely opened this. They're looking for more turrets, they're pushing this in, but we're just going to decide actually to back off as the respawn to come out for the side of White Emperor.
Yeah, they need to turtle up, wait for the late game, instead of giving this extra 3 kills. Alpha is already fed enough, she doesn't need more kills.
Yeah, the Aegis bought
wait
there
for
as
the late
well.
game.
And Shattered Glass again, Bisson. She's really relying on her Discord, and this is... I just don't agree with the build. I think it's honest, not to be rude, but it's honestly not the build that should be going on Viola. She needs, obviously...
Viola should be doing some armor defense, actually, at this point, because they are up against the double weapon composition, so that would be the best thing she could do right now.
She needs more damage. The old current, she should have gone all in current first, and then the Shattered Glass, and then into the Broken Mist. And she's chosen with the Spellfire. She's not got any damage at all. The Shattered Glass is not going to provide basically just 1 damage out for this Viola. She's so far behind, and when you're this far behind, misbuilding is not a mistake you want to be playing.
Yeah, definitely. Now the Crystal Sentry going for the side of Roland Gaming. They're putting down the pressure. Want to take this Treant as well. Ooh, the damage there on Viola. She went to 1/3 with just 1 hit of that Alpha. The pain is real for the Snowball Alpha. Just when she finally finishes the Tyrant's Monocle, she's just gonna be disturbingly high-powered. The Kraken is about to spawn, though. I think it's gonna be a pretty free Kraken for the side of Roland Gaming. And but yeah, the game ain't over until the Vein Crystal shatters. So let's not count the eggs before they hatch.
Definitely.
Final jungle clear before buying those infusions for the Kraken team fight.
Exactly, because enough. We say that obviously the game isn't over yet, but we're 12.5 to the game. We're always seeing about 10,000 gold here for the side of Rowling Gaming. It seems just like the previous game we just watched here, PS, and just a complete destruction of the enemy team. From the A side, and now Alex CW prime director into the fight, and now it's going to start off Wadger Oi going to about half health. Obviously the Atlas ball does slow this Alpha down, but not for long. It's another prime director coming out onto Amelia. So Water have been popped just to try escape, and they're barely going to escape with that one, but Viola has been caught on the back foot, just going to run away from the Gwen. Unfortunately, slow was enough to slow down this Gwen. She's going to just try to...
How is she going to teleport back home, though?
The Crystal Sentry just caught her out. Crystal Sentry has sniped the Viola. Unfortunately, this looks like the end of the game, but you know, still surviving. Crystal Sentry's after her, but she might just get away with this one.
And meanwhile, the Kraken got started by 2 members of RPG. The Rona still doesn't have the breaking point, so feels bad, man. So behind.
Yeah, Viola's behind, and she can get it if she can shot, but she needs to go back. Yeah, I think we need to give up the Kraken, reset, come back as a team, because unfortunately it looks like the water heads already have been popped. Perhaps it's too late as Melee has gone the wrong way. Unfortunately, he will now get caught up with 3 members in a bad place. So out of course, there's not going to be enough to protect him, as that will be going down underneath his own crystal sentry. And now they're looking just to finish the game. They don't even need the Kraken to push this down. They're just waiting for this objective to come. As Churnwalker is down, they could really be pushing these 2 members of White Umbra. With Churnwalker down, you can
Just cleaning the lane, yeah.
Yeah, obviously the Crystal Sentry will be taken, so at least they're taking some objectives here, PSNL, but the distance has been used to try to create some distance by Bisson, but now Nymphax just really going in hard, clearing out the minions. Now we're actually trying to find some way into this fight, but the gauntlet has been used there, but now obviously the Gwen has been caught out here. The damage is a lot, but not enough, as Waja is so low, and the LSW just finishes the game here on the backside. Can't kill him, he's just unkillable. God, it's out of what it is 1,000 damage to Vainglory. Absolutely ridiculous damage. Just going to kill Waja or kill Emilius off, and it looked like they just want to end this game. Is Kraken still alive, pushing down. Emilius is giving up. This is going to be round and game, moving on to the semi-finals.
Rona managed to get 1 kill in the very last seconds of the game, but I think the main problem here was indeed the Rona. Bad pick to counter that Alpha, wasn't able to do anything, try to pressure too much early on, while Alpha had the clear advantage of the reboot, and that just bite them in the ass and was just snowball from there. So well played, Roland Gaming. Move on in the tournament. And we're gonna move on to the next game that we have lined up. It's gonna be the very interesting matchup we have between the Tox Armada gang and the Sexy Pineapples. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, let's hope the Sexy Pineapples can live up or defend against Tox Armada realistically, because obviously, you know, Tox Armada are pretty much the favourites to win this tournament. They obviously have
definitely.
Suki, Valhalla, and they also have Fez as well, another really strong player as this up there. In Rome, BGX, Strange Pineapple, and Dunlit out of Sexy Pineapples. Realistically, not names that are recognizable in the top BG community, unfortunately, but it will be interesting to see what they can bring in, given the opportunity to try take down Tox Armada.
Yeah, definitely they need to put up a good fight against this talented team of Tox Armada. We already have some info on the ban. Tox Armada decides to ban Viola. I guess that's a valid ban, just as valid as any other ban. What do you think about that particular ban, Highland?
Yeah, I think Viola is honestly ban away. I mean, Viola, when used properly, I don't think it was used properly in that last game, but when it's built right and when it's used properly as a support, Viola can be really strong and impactful, especially in the 3v3 scene, where the distance and where the lullaby can affect more of an area than it would the 5v5 map.
We're waiting to know the ban for the side of the Sexy Pineapples. Still don't have any intel on that.
I mean, Wicked, what do you think about this ban on Viola?
I think it's a good one, actually. She can do a lot of damage late game if you play her right. Like, we have seen a couple of mediocre, maybe Violas right now, but like, she can do a lot. So I understand the ban, and like Oscar's team, like, really, are they afraid of any hero? Like, do they really need a ban? Like, I'm just asking myself.
They should play without any bans whatsoever. Talking about bans, we have Blackfeather also being confirmed as the ban for the side of the Sexy Pineapples. So no Viola, no Blackfeather. We're left with other broken heroes, such as, I don't know, the Churnwalker, the Blackfeather. Well, no, not Blackfeather, the Grumpjaw.
Even
Sky. Yeah. Sky is open. I know you see some Sky.
So many good heroes. You just can't ban away this strong heroes out of 3v3 meta, and I think even with the 3 bans that we're going to be seeing in the semi-finals and the finals, it's still going to be strong picks coming through.
In the old days of 3 versus 3, you knew like you had very strategic bans because everything was so balanced together that would like open up the
There's
entire.
just so many heroes. No,
Yeah,
like,
nowadays it's so many heroes. Like you can just do whatever.
One
composition
ban
you
is
want.
not enough.
Yeah.
Please, Rogue, give us a second ban for 3v3. we need it.
Can even ban
Um,
like 5 heroes. That would be more interesting.
And you'd
game,
still
like,
get
in
strong
terms of
picks
meta.
coming through. You'd still get strong picks coming through. There's
I'm
certainly.
sorry, guys. I think I need to restart the game actually because
no.
No, wait.
Okay.
Oh, I just had to say the word, and everything
Yeah.
starts to work. Yes.
Yeah, just complain. That's what you always do. Just complain.
Yeah.
That's not so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always do.
I always do
we
that.
just-
start
Oh,
the
look at
matches.
this! Look at this! We have our teams in. We have Oscary, Valhalla, Suki against the sexy pineapples that we don't know anything about how they're gonna play yet because we haven't seen them. They moved
That is
on.
their one advantage.
Yes.
We do not know about them, and neither
Secret
do
tactics.
Fox and Marder. Yeah.
Secret
have not been
tactics.
exposed
Let's
yet.
watch.
Secretly, it's Handor and Kianaka and that on their Smurfs. they're gonna.
That would be something.
See, sexy panels absolutely coming in clap number 1. EV3.
Right, let's get this draft underway. If the buttery smooth experience of a Vainglory will allow us.
Yeah, I mean, moving into the second quarter-final, guys, who is going to go up against Rally Gaming? It will either be Toxamada or Sexy Pineapples. We will have to see. But, I mean, of course, the favourites of the tournament, Toxamada here, Oscar, Valhalla, and Suki. Well, Valhalla is so strong as well. From NA is Valhalla. And also Fez in the team is also from NA, but 2 strong heroes that have moved now into this European scene and into competition and really are dominating this European scene at the top.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious about the ping between EU and NA because
It
I see a
doesn't
lot of
seem to
NA
affect
people.
them. Like,
Yeah, a lot of NA people have been coming to Europe and playing here competitively, and they seem to be doing all right. So I wonder how much the ping really is.
this
And I wonder
merge-
what's up with the US scene. I mean, if they have to come here to play, is it just like the time zones that's wrong, or is really the scene there? So
I think there's more competition in Europe right now, so
Yeah.
move where the competition is, and the draft has started. Speaking of competition, so we will be seeing, of course, what they will ban on top of the viola and the black feather. It will be the Gondor being banned out. I mean, Oscari's team really play more seriously, I think, in this round. Than the last one. They're banning properly. They're going to pick the Churnwalker straight out, and
I
they're
called
not
it.
messing about.
I called it Churnwalker
What?
and the Vox. So a
Really
lot of
good
OP
counter.
right now.
Yeah, you do not want to let the Vox over with the Churnwalker. Provides way too much crowd control and shared damage through the Vox's resonant bounces. So it will be also the Lorelei picked up. Looks like, looks like it will actually be picked up into signing gears. It will be the Lorelei that will go through, and that will be great to defend with the Vox, providing that waterfall, providing that barrier, and also the splashdown and the fish foot zone around these team fights are going to be so impactful.
Yeah, definitely. Lorelei so powerful on 3 versus 3. Like the water wall is just crazy, and the mobility itself, like the water pool, seems so big on 3 versus 3 compared to 5 versus 5. So here comes a wild Kensei. Shows up for Vajala. Someone on the chat was predicting that the Kensei was incoming, so well picked. Let's see what they pick to round up their composition. If Kensei will be on the lane or in the jungle. You can play both after all.
NA versus EU. I just realized this is basically NA versus in terms of the side of
They go for Koshka.
Armada versus
Very
Sex.
interesting.
Koshka's
So Koshka
really
for the
strong.
early game and Kensei for the late game.
That's the type of composition you want. And Churnwalker is realistically going to be early and late. Churnwalker is just a great.
Churnwalker is
3v3
forever.
hero. She's
Swap
everything
heroes.
right now in 3v3. So good. The Rhyme is a great counter though to the Koshka if you can, with the chilled winds, just root up the Koshka, and then with the Valkyrie slam her down with a stun. Definitely going to be very impactful.
Definitely, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Let's see if they manage to pull it off in terms of skill, to rise to the level of this team from Tox Armada. Very curious to see how it will unfold on the Alcyon Fold. Let's get it on.
Yeah,
So who do you think favors on the draft so far, Highland?
Oh, man, you beat me to it. I was going to ask you. Exactly the same question.
Based on the draft alone, not considering the skill of the players, who would you think would be favored here?
I still think it would be Tox Armada. I think with the Sharon Walker and the Koshka and Kensei, it just provides so much CC in crowd control. Every single ability from the side of Tox Armada has to be blocked out. You cannot allow the Frenzy from the Koshka. You cannot allow the Path to Running from the Kensei. You cannot allow the Trespass from the Sharon Walker to go through. And it's going to be so important in the Crucibles for the side of Sexy Pineapples to defend against this CC crowd control team.
But they do have Santa Claus playing on the side of Sexy Pineapple, so that makes everything better.
Exactly, Santa Claus is here, but I think, I just think it honestly. I don't
believe in Christmas.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a Grinch on this one and still see it Tox Armada can clinch a win.
They already got the barrier 3 ant at least, so nice. Oh, is there a disconnect I see there?
Yeah, it looks like an AFK. Valhalla realizing it is AFK. Good respect there from the side of Tox Armada just to leave him. Obviously, everyone is responsible for their own connection, so
yeah, I hope he comes back soon. It's not in the lane, so it's not affecting the rest of the game. Oh, he came back now.
Unfortunately, they look like
let
they
him go.
can kill him now. The flask has been popped, not surviving for long, and will just be put back into his base. He moved and he died.
You move and you die. Yeah, you should have played Possum a little while longer.
He should have waited till he came out. He went away before he died.
Here comes a wild Koshka, landing those claws onto Lorelei. Not enough to kill her off though. And those chains of Churnwalker just being so annoying.
Yeah,
Koshka will take the opportunity.
Being caught out here. They're not going to stop any recalls coming from that Tox Armada. Koshka just going to take out the front camps there. Put the vision.
Should be able to take the barrier 3 until with Santa Claus hanging around. Might be dangerous. See how it unfolds. Churnwalker also rotating back down, so might have a team fight coming up. Chain already hooked in. Double chain. Here comes a wild Koshka, but she gets fish-footed. But Kensei finishes Lorelei off, and Grandpa is forced to go back home. No gifts for anyone tonight. Koshka finishes the barrier 3 ant, while Kensei and Churnwalker get all the jungle.
2,000 goal lead here, head PS and Alpha. We're only 2.5 minutes into the game. It looks like an absolute stomping. Strange Pineapple already going low. I think unfortunately Sexy Pineapples have drawn the short straw in terms of side of the competition's two halves, going up against the side of Tox Armada. Such a brick wall to go up against these teams, so strong individually and as a team. And we see Valhalla.
Yeah, yesterday we had some pretty competitive games. This day it seems that we have more not so competitive in terms of level of skill. But we'll definitely see on the tournament. As the tournament evolves, we'll see a lot more competitive matches. So next weekend, for sure, we will have even more interesting matches that we've been having so far. It's been pretty good so far, despite the difference of levels.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We might be speaking a bit too soon, of course. We don't really know these players, so they might be...
I mean, we talk about levels, but the gold so far ahead, yes, and I mean, Oscar is just killing them as a support in their own base, like in their own jungle. There's nothing that they can do. Bromy is going to surely die as well. It is already 4-0 in less than 4 minutes.
The snowball is real.
It's literally 4,000 gold lead in under 4 minutes. This is insane, PSNL.
Yeah, the snowball is definitely real. Kensei just hanging back. Not gonna get caught up by that Rhyme though. He's gonna move back up to his own jungle to actually pass by the shop first. Do some late minute shopping before Christmas. Make sure he got all the gifts.
He's already got a mask. And then after shopping Koshka, and we're only 4 minutes into the game. And if we've already got the first tier 1 items, we've only got 1 tier 2 item on the enemy.
Yeah, that's what 2 kills give you. Money. for you to get your Serpent's
They
Mask
are
on.
millionaires at this point. PS enough.
Yeah, make it rain.
They look for the fight again. Looks like it is going to be the fight breaking out, and Gromy is stunned up by the Koshka, and now Valhalla is just going to search for the Kensho in. Sorry, now Strange Pineapple's going to be next full flask in. Not going to save you against Path of Running Buddy. Blocked too late, unfortunately, and that one is going to be double kill. And now the Goldie opens up to about 5,500 Goldie. Download, all he can do is try push this wave into the turret. Is desperately trying to find something. He's looking, he's thinking about trying to go. But the turret actually goes down into the enemy jungle, so there's nothing going to be there for you.
Yeah, still in the back camps. They just popped up here. So it's gonna get those barrier tree ants.
It's dangerous. Koshka has just respawned.
Yeah, just be careful. Will you even get the barrier tree ant? Yes, you will. You will also get death. That's what you will get.
Yeah, you always get smacked in like 5 shots by a Koshka.
So yeah, it seems pretty one-sided game. Unfortunately, just hoping for a more competitive play. Gold miner will be picked up now.
Like this is so. This is what the best arguably team in this competition is. Oh my goodness! And Rhyme is just absolutely erased from the map as he is just walks. He doesn't even get into his own bush, and he's just absolutely
Immense
destroyed.
gold payout collected.
Immense gold payout collected.
7,000 gold lead in 6 minutes.
Rises up the advantage to 7k. That should be enough to buy something.
This is absolutely insane. About two tier 3 items that you're putting down ahead of the enemy team, pretty much in terms of gold. This is crazy.
Cleaning up this wave, putting down a little bit more pressure.
But the Kenzie has 2 items, and then not even they only got 1 item. The run doesn't even have any tier 3 items.
You don't need items when you have snow on your side.
You don't need items when you're already in the healing platform. When you just stepped out of it.
Vox seems to be farming alright, all things considered. I mean, still behind from both.
Vox has not had that much pressure, but I certainly think, you know, as they turn their heads to the objective control, now that they've got this snowball lead, that Vox is going to be the next one to get the death that is going to issue from the side of Tox Armada.
Death pending. Another Crystal Sentry will go for them. Orion tries to hit someone there, but not quite connecting. Gets a chain as a reward from this Churnwalk. Fish food trying to keep Rhyme safe there, but the trespass is real. Here comes a wild Kensei and a wild Koshka.
No, the waterball doesn't even matter.
Kill.
The waterball came out, but instantly deleted anyway. It will be the Vox just managing to respawn in his own bush. They do stop any push, throwing the Vox happening there. Vox needs to be in the fight as well. I think Vox is too focused on these lanes. He needs to try to defend this team. I think unfortunately that might have been a bit too late for him to join the fight now.
Another gold miner. I think soon Rhyme will start having to pay the enemy team to kill him. That's how low his bounty is gonna be.
it's certainly, I mean, it's truly just stands up the Rhyme and will delete him potentially almost under his tier 3 turret. They're only taking like 1 turret here, PS enough, and on the back foot just some, you know, deletion of the box there as he gets caught out, and unfortunately they will be pushing now for the side of Six Pineapples against their tier 2 turret.
Yep. Not much Sexy Pineapples can do here. Pretty one-sided game. The snowball is completely real. The ultimate here from Ryan trying to catch someone off, but just the damage. The damage.
They're under the turret. They finally die. They finally shut down. Too aggressive, unfortunately, is the Kensei. It just gets a trespass. It just kills him anyways. Whilst Kiwi, the god he is before, is looking for more kills as he goes to the Lorelei.
He has a chain at least. Lorelei doesn't want to chase. He's afraid of Koshka, but Koshka is down here stealing some camps away.
Yeah, it's
Here's
gonna be
the
a big
Rhyme.
box
Goes
as well.
for him.
Box He has so much gold from that shot down there from the Kensei. It's going to be up to him to really do the damage with the 2 items that he has against the Koshka. Koshka is rooted up, will actually just pull obviously the Rhino back, but now it's going to go for double kill. This is actually going to clean up the entire team.
1v3.
Yes, it's going to three-shot the Vox as they take the ace and take the second kill.
Yeah. GG. Well played. Koshka 1v3ing the entire enemy team.
I think this game is over. Yes, no. I think
I have that feeling as well.
You know that feeling when they're like they're 13,000 gold ahead at 10 minutes in 17-1, and you just feel like this. I think we lost this game.
Time to throw in the towel. Ooh, nice trespass.
Oh
They're
my
getting
goodness.
2 members. Complete annihilation. 19 kills to 1.
They've got almost matched the gold lead as Sexy Pineapples have gold. Yes enough. 14,000 gold lead, and they've only got 18,000 gold. It is absolutely insane how quickly and how efficiently Toksamara have just wiped Sexy Pineapples off.
Well played, Tux Armada. They really proved themselves as one of the #1 contenders. Well, they are.
I think they are the #1 contender.
Yeah. In
If
my
they weren't
head,
before, they are now. Like,
at least they have the quickest win game on the tournament so far. I think it was at 9 minutes and a half, something like that.
that it's pre 10 minutes, 14,000 goal lead.
Ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
It doesn't get better than that. Like,
no.
If you want to, get better, yeah.
I think Sexy Pineapples should feel like happy they played with them and
Happy they survived more than 5 minutes. Like,
yeah. You did good, Pineapples. You did really good.
Yeah. If you want to learn Vainglory for V3, that's who you learn it from. You watch Toksamada, because the efficiency and just constantly finding objectives from that, constantly stealing the gold away. Even when the carries were doing something else, taking their farm, Oshku was always even in the enemy jungle on the back camps. It was even taking that and getting that gold lead further and further ahead and denying the gold camps away from the side of Six Pineapples.
It might be so that we're gonna have to take a small break because I don't think
we're gonna be talking 22 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
wait.
Because I don't think the other teams are quite ready yet, and I want to give them a little bit of time because we are way ahead of schedule right now. Since this game was just like
Complete
flashed
right.
before my eyes, like so fast. So yes, I think we should go for maybe start the game at 9 as it's supposed to, so we give the teams the time.
Yeah, so 20 minutes from now.
Yes, and sorry for this break, guys, but that's what happens when Oscar's team is
Yeah, blame Tox
doing
Armada
their
for
Oscar team.
Yeah.
We can play another game from We'll wrap it up in 10 minutes, so it's fine. Let's just do a repeat of the game, see if it lasts longer this time. No, I'm joking. Okay, so
everybody take a
break.
break, and we will be back on in 20 minutes.
All right, see you soon.
Bye.
So I am a monster, they say, the world over. And perhaps ide ikre kiove braka. For my name fades even from my own memory, along with my wife's voice, the laughter of my son, the taste of my mother's baked clams and crusty bread. Now I am a warning in 1,000 languages to naughty children. Never, no, never wander beyond the calm, for the Churnwalker lurks within. If it is a monster they want, then ikri askad fave.
Welcome to the Heroic Ties. I'm Jeff with the Halcyon Masters, and this is the story of Churnwalker. We set the stage for this video with our overview of the Halcyon and the Churn. I'll link the overview above, but for those that are all caught up, let's hit the intro. The story of the Churnwalker originates over 100 years ago in Githia. During this time, Githia was guided by powerful guilds, including the Mage Guild, the Scholars Guild, and the Cartographers Guild. The charter of the Cartographers Guild is to explore the unknown. This is no easy task in the world of Vainglory, as it's covered with the wild and deadly energy of the Churn, with only pockets of calm. Martine Walker is one of the Cartographers Guild's pro players. His work includes research into the history of dragons and the Churn. He is Vainglory's Jacques Cousteau, or Captain Ahab, fearless and willing to explore the unexplored. At his own expense, Martine Walker had a self-contained suit built specifically to explore where no Githian has gone before, into the heart of the Churn. With the suit constructed, his first exploration is into a Churn-infested volcano located in the Seven Islands. Let's take a second and hear Walker's own account of the experience.
I traveled alone into that heart of darkness, and I am unashamed to admit that I was terrified. All was silent while the Churn stalked me like a predator, sniffing at my fear. And then it began to speak. I heard its whispers in the small hairs on my neck, uttering a language I have never heard. When I spun to see what had whispered, I saw nothing. Soon, it was inside my mind, replacing my own language, so that my thoughts spooled out in these strange syllables. Ebet, ikro, ido, it demanded, and somehow I knew to respond aloud with my own name.
While terrified of the Churn and the mind-blowing effects it had on him, Walker witnessed wonders beyond his wildest imaginations. Within the volcano, rock turned to soil, which turned to jungle, and the jungle was home to monstrous creatures, such as a pigeon that was the size of an eagle, and a flower that once plucked from the ground replanted itself. Walker admits he could have wandered forever in the Churn's endless wonders. However, as he approached the heart of the volcano, he was overtaken by a Churn storm. So powerful, the storm almost carried him away, except he was able to grasp a palm branch just in time. While the dangers were the same as a hurricane, it also affected his grasp on reality. Here are Walker's own words about what happened within the storm.
In the Churn storm, I experienced a most strange phenomenon. I saw visions of myself reflected in the fog and dust all around me. So disturbing were these visions that I couldn't bear to not embody them. In this one thought, I felt in my body a painful buckling, a sensation like all of my bones breaking, folding in on themselves, and then unfolding again into another of the visions. In this way, trespassing from vision to vision, I managed to make my way toward the visible sky. As my men pulled me by the arms to safety, I heard the whisper insist, "Ikro vive shavod." I am told that I responded, "Oida vistishad." I do not remember this, nor do I have any understanding of this phrase.
The final exchange between Walker and the Churn likely translates into, "You will not leave," with Walker responding, "I will return." As a quick side note, if you are interested in learning more about the language of the Churn, Excoundrel has a great video that deciphers the text. I'll put the link above, and now back to the story. Walker's fellow explorers surmised that that would be any man's last journey into the Churn, given the horrors that they witnessed. However, it was the tip of the iceberg for Martine Walker, and the beginning of an obsession. To explore deeper into the Churn, Walker started on Mark II of his suit, most notably adding the pulley and chain system. This contraption is designed to anchor and assist his movement in the event of another Churn storm. Walker went back into the Churn. It is difficult to track how long his subsequent expedition lasted, because time moves differently in the Churn as it does in the Calm. What seems like only a short excursion for Walker was months to his friends, fellow explorers, and family. During this time, however, Walker was able to explore vast areas of the Churn by perfecting the ability to trespass. By trespassing, he could move anywhere the Churn infested. With this talent, Walker recorded a complete map of the Wells of Power. His discoveries were truly amazing, but the monetary and personal costs were mounting. Every time Walker submerged, he'd leave some of his humanity behind and became increasingly obsessed and one with the Churn. When he surfaced again, the Calm appeared strange and he had difficulty remembering how to speak in Githian. Replacing his native language was the whisper of the Churn. His colleagues in the Cartographers Guild grew concerned for Walker's well-being. Walker brushed off their concerns, focusing more on his findings and their potential value to Githia. Here's an example from Walker himself, which highlights his obsession and separation from the Calm.
I must make these notes before I submerge again, for I forget more and more the language of my birth. I hear the Churn whispering in and out of the Calm now. The whisper is my only companion, or perhaps Ikri Ustbeyu Idam. In either instance, there is only one living world for me now. For I am the Churn, and the Churn is mine, and I will not stop my work, never. Ikri Idat Evoda Velut.
While self-funding his expeditions, the leaders of the Cartographers Guild now dismissed his findings and started to discredit his name. Beyond the damage to his professional reputation, a more severe consequence of losing favor with the Guild is that Walker's family lost favor in Githia. They were left penniless and abandoned. This is a good place to point out that all the accounts above are from letters sent from Martine Walker to the Cartographers Guild. The tone of his notes shift to anger and resentment. In his first act of defiance, Walker donates his entire personal collection to the Glass City. For a guy that's one with the Churn, he really didn't have too much foresight on the city's longevity. While in the Glass City, Walker submitted himself to an examination by the city's physicians. Once his suit was removed, they discovered his flesh had changed, and the suit may not have been as sealed as Walker believed. The trace amounts of Churn that seeped into his suit inoculated Walker against the fatal effects, but began to physically change him. I'd like to pause again and question, how would Walker not have noticed this before? Did he not take off the suit in a decade? And also, how would he then go to the bathroom or eat or just imagine what he smells like?
How do you not smell that?
Okay, this is not about picking apart the lore as much as telling the story. Let's get back to it, Jeff. 90 years after his first expedition, a new guildmaster took over the Cartographers Guild and refused to publish Walker's work. In fact, his work was purged from the record. Maybe because no Githian lived that long, maybe because the work appeared to be insane. Either way, this pushed Walker into the deep end, and he cut ties with Githia, calling them swine and swearing revenge. Walker now looked at the world from the perspective of the Churn, as he is more of legend than he is man. In his final excerpt, Walker owns his transformation into the Churn Walker.
So I am a monster, they say, the world over. And perhaps ide ikre kiove braka. For my name fades even from my own memory, along with my wife's voice, the laughter of my son, the taste of my mother's baked clams and crusty bread. Now I am a warning in 1,000 languages to naughty children. Never, no, never wander beyond the calm, for the Churn Walker lurks within. If it is a monster they want, then ikri askal fave.
Wanting nothing more than revenge, the Churn Walker bides his time to surface once more to lay waste to those that wronged him. It appears the time might be close, as a rumor of civil war in Githia, a technological revolution in the Glass City, and a young Storm Queen are tipping the balance of power in the calm. Churn Walker must feel the time is right to make his move, as he has reappeared on the Halcyon Fold. He is here to help topple the empire that destroyed his life work, his family, and his name. We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Heroic Ties. If you did, take a second and press the like and subscribe button. And until next time, we'll see you on the Halcyon Fold.
Okay, we seem to be back. Welcome back, everyone, for the last couple of games of today for the tournament of 3 versus 3 that the Elite Order is organizing. I'm your caster PS. I have with me Highland Wolf and Wicked Snow White. And hopefully we have enough players for Divergent Fate versus Most Sports. I think they will have a last-minute sub just so they have a full team ready.
And that is
think
the
they're
sub
gonna-
we saw in yesterday's games. I'm just going
Yeah.
to say it here. This is our admin. This is our Discord master that is also obviously as extra support in this tournament.
Yeah, just to make sure, obviously, guys, that we do have the action being run to, even if we are missing one player. So having an extra player, and I know that obviously Dagon has been on the other team, we got eliminated, but much prefer, I think, a game of Vainglory action and not, I think, in waiting another 30 minutes on the coming soon.
Do we have the
screen.
bans, guys? Do we know?
Yes, we do. It's Vox and Sky, I believe. Let me just confirm real
Yep.
quick. Vox and Sky, yeah.
Okay,
Divergent
then
Fate
let's start
banned
this game
Vox.
up.
Yep, go on. Most Sports banned Sky. So let's see what their other draft bans will be. Let's get the game on the road with Divergent Fate featuring a Screamer against Most Sports with a Phase 1, XID effects, and Menton.
Exactly.
Let's see what the ban will be.
Yeah, I mean, the Vox and the Sky definitely good bands here. PS enough. We're certainly just waiting for the Sand Thing. It seems like it's going to be banned out as opposed to definitely Sand Thing with Master Celeste with the Tiger's Bridge can obviously, even the Dime Fist, the damage he has early on, very good support hero, but also really good jungler, can invade and really hard to stop with Sand Thing because if you obviously hit him, he just counters you and stuns you with the Tiger's Bridge.
Yeah, they definitely need a Crucible for that. Let's see what they decide to ban. Catherine is going to be banned from the side of the Most Sports. Still not convinced that ban is still that OP after the 4.9 patch, but it is what it is. Kokabuli deciding on the Churnwalker. Let's see if Deka picks it or if he has other ideas. Churnwalker will definitely be an OP pick, as we've seen on the previous game so far. Very pro-level carry no captain for these 3 versus 3 matches with all the crowd control that it has. Those chains, the trespass, all that jazz. Well, Lorelei is going to be picked up for the side of Most Sports.
Yeah, hopefully this Lorelei can perform Pineapples against obviously Tox and Murder. Slightly more balanced game, obviously, than the last quarterfinal, which was a bit of a stomping there. But Churnwalker very impactful, obviously, with the chains, can obviously pull people in, can stun people up with the trespass, and the damage is so important. And I think in 3v3 as well, to have that damage from the support, have that potential to finish people off if they are low. It just allows you so much to survive and have more control in these team fights.
Definitely. Gwen getting picked up. Nice damage dealer for the lane. And well, the question is, who will Deka be playing? Kestrel is
Deca will be playing
the right
Kestrel.
choice. He plays a very mean Kestrel. You need to be aware. Very tanky, very skillful. Not tanky in the health sense. Tanky in the way that it's very hard to kill because she keeps dodging. So let's see how that works out.
Yates' double pulls coming out for the side of Divergent Fate. It's going to be very hard for the side of obviously Most Sports to escape all this CC that's coming out for the side of Divergent Fate's squad.
Yeah, it's just going to have a hyper carry team there.
Swap heroes.
I think it might work. I think with Deka on the Kestrel, if you
Kestrel there,
can't shut
the
down the
counter.
Kestrel, it will be very hard to win these team fights. So double support will work very effectively there. Koshka getting picked up from the side of Most Sports might be an interesting way to dive, but she definitely will need a reflex block to avoid both the active camo and the stun from the Yates. So it's curious to see how this game will play out if Divergent Fate with one last-minute replacement will be able to hang their own. They were one of the favorites to win the tournament along with Tox Armada, so let's see if they live up to the expectations, even if they are one man short.
Let's see if our own
Against this
Durgan
team for most
Crin
parts.
can carry them, through the Yates. Because
If his Yates is better than his Lance.
Well, realistically, Durgan Crin is, the MVP of this match, obviously. Much better than Decker, of course. no Kappa. But they look like they are invading very aggressively, Durgan, with this team here. Durgan's still got some skill of his own though, so definitely nothing to scoff about. Durgan's still definitely able to put up a fight, and it will be actually the gold doke in the centre. Barricade, I suppose we call it Barricade, in 3v3, taken away by FaZe there, which will equal some good gold, but the invade on the jungle going to still go through Crocodile and Decker on your screen.
There's the reverse invade on jungle as well from FaZe. Going to steal that barrier tree amp. I don't think Durgan King will arrive there in time to be able to deny it. They might be able to deny those little potatoes there next to the Crystal Sentry. Or the Crystal Sentry spawning point. It's not here yet. Too early for the Crystal Sentry, still taking a nap.
Yeah, obviously the barrier trap will respawn soon in about 30 seconds. But Durgan King just going to leave that barrier trap there, as it will be momentum getting died on by the Yates here. Decker on your screen still following up. It will be obviously, as you say, carry the Decker composition on the Kestrel, and the farm still looking dead even. Momentum keeping up there.
And we've seen on 5v5 the Churnwalker on the jungle working pretty well, so maybe they're just like transposing, and the first blood came down with Churnwalker getting that Koshka, catching her off guard out of position. So yeah, the Churnwalker can be quite oppressive with all the crowd control that he has. If you put him with a little bit of... Oh, Koshka wants some more.
Koshka about to die again. Double fish food
nice
will
fish food,
keep
though.
them alive, and it will be Durgan down, and now it looks like Crocodile has been hit on the backside, but it will be FaZe. Looks like he can't quite finish that kill off, and unfortunately it will be Crocodile falling it as well.
That's reversal there. They still got one kill though.
Yeah, do lose two
Menton
members
just
on the back.
farming away.
Yeah, Menton doing a good job here for his team 18 CS, but they're slightly ahead on the 21, going to get that heavy seal there. So that's going to provide some good damage for Kestrel. It is they're starting to work towards their first build. Sixteenth also brought up also Menton, now just going to go back and spend some of his own gold as well. And as the fight continues on, and 3 minutes into the game, Crocodile just making his farm up and moving the vision from the enemy team as much as possible, going to try as well to steal this barrier tree in the jungle. But FaZe is here to contest.
Just waiting for the barrier tree and to be low enough to be worth diving in. They don't really have full vision. They see it now. They try to get it. But it went for the side. Oh, they do manage to steal it. Well played there by FaZe. Once again stealing that tree ant. Will they manage to win this team fight though? For Crocodile, the chain's getting pulled in. 3 members chained up. Here comes Deck on your screen, trying to put down the pressure.
Gwen
but
steals
not
that
really
away
getting
to nice deny of steal on the enemy jungle there by Menton and FaZe, doing a really good job, and doing much better than perhaps we would have expected going into this matchup, which is really evenly matched Decker and Crocodile inside of the Division Fate as a whole in this elimination match.
Yeah, I mean, Koshka is a very good jungler early on. Very hard to deny her, so Churnwalker is not a very good counter to Koshka per se. It's just annoying, especially on the late game. Not as much on the early game, unless you're doing a full team fight, which they try to force a little bit, so to get a little bit of advantage. But the game seems pretty even so far. Let's see how this things evolve. FaZe there, sending a little emoji, doing a little dance. Don't know what's up with that. Just having fun. Thank you for the dance, FaZe.
4.5 minutes in, the gold lead is dead even with the work of the jungle from the Koshka has been very well played here. The Fishwood will miss, and they can't quite find anyone just yet in the lane. But Decker has rotated up perhaps Menton has to be careful of the Wolfsmith from the Yates. He has to be careful of the pulls from Churnwalker. Obviously, if they do get caught, it's going to be very hard for them to escape with all the CC the Divergent Fate is bringing.
Yeah, Deck already has the Sorrow Blade on, so it's gonna start hurting a lot. And once he starts getting those Tyrant Monocles, I believe he usually does Bone Saw as well to get a little bit of speed going. See what second item he's going to go for. Anyways, Gwen trying to punish Durgan King a little bit here. He does a little Troll Wolf's Maw to the wrong side. Does manage to secure that CS though. So all is good.
Yeah, the CS
slow game.
Dead even still, 50 to 50, pretty much 5 minutes in. So definitely working really well, both of these teams. Menton doing a really good job rotating around. They have been
now Menton in a
here.
bad position, but he manages to get away from those hooks and chains.
Daddle works really well here to escape
Yeah.
all these hooks from the Gwen.
Daddle is your friend.
Exactly, we are
Especially to get
talking-
away from those chains, because that's the main problem when you're facing Churnwalker. Get pulled in, and you're either gonna get pulled in into the inactive camo, or you're gonna get pulled in into the Yates stun as well. So gotta really be careful not to get crowd controlled from those chains.
Exactly, and just excellent plays by both teams here. It's actually a slight 500 gold lead, not really much to shout about at all, but it is a gold nonetheless to the side of most sports. They are doing an excellent job right now bringing us to Divergent Fate. We could see definitely a pretty good and even action coming into this team fight as we now move into the mid-game stage of this matchup.
Yeah, we have some action going down there as Koshka tries to get a piece of the Churnwalker. He only gets a chain. Durgan King pops the boot, tries to get a stun, but all three members have rotated down. So Gwen's gonna make this Crocabulia play. The Trespass coming out though, as Yates jumps back up. One shot, one kill, not quite connecting anyone. And no kills out of that whole mess. Very intense team fight. No kills. Gold Miner is left for grabs, and it seems that Divergent Fate will say thank you very much and take the gold. Free gold. That's always good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to extend a gold lead out now for about 500 against the side on most sports, but the turret is looking dangerous as Menton trying to take that down. Deca has rotated up, so they are going to defend this, and it's not going to be a turret for the side of most sports. So they're looking to engage there. Obviously, with that gold miner, they have been brought themselves back into the game. The gold, or the CS lead, sorry, has actually opened up for Crocabulia by about 8 CS, and then Menton looking like he's starting to fall behind.
Nice pull there, Durgan King, but no real follow-up from Deca. It's had an active camo there, but he gets sprung up. But when you're a weapon, it's a bit harder to get those active camos to work effectively, unless you're running away from the team fight. Another pull, another stun. Menton in a bad position, needs to be careful of those pickups. Might have to end up getting a reflex block. Waits his eye connecting, but the reflex block on time. And here comes a wild Koshka trying to kill someone up, but the chain's quite annoying. The Trespass working very well to stun up that Koshka. Deca's so low, but still manages to somehow win and get the Koshka kill. Another kill as well from Crocabulia. And CDFX is forced to run for his life.
Yeah, looks like they want to try and find 2 turrets here with Gwen just respawning. They're very aggressive. They're actually going to move their way down into the enemy jungle, take down the barrier tree, and now take down the crystal sentry as well before they can
Here comes
rotate members.
Koshka.
And they have been caught into the overwhelm here, and the fight breaks out. Crystal tree will get taken by the third of Fate. The pull on the chains. Crocabulia looking so stacked, and that'll be the one shot as it connects onto the Koshka. Going to take a nap in that push for another 10 seconds. As rethinks those life decisions. Deca on your screen and Durgan King is going to turn their attention with the help of Crocabulia.
Another gold miner.
Gold miner, yeah. 4,000 gold.
Another more.
ahead.
Yeah, advance more the gold lead to 5k. That makes a little bit of a difference already. Deca going for a lot of critical damage. You see already 2 critical items under his belt, working up towards that double Tyrant's monocle. on the eventual final build. Kokabuli overextending a little bit, gets caught up by that Koshka there. Fish Food helping him out. Aces Eye not quite connecting. Kokabuli in the bad spot. Can he get away? He does have the empowerment though. That helps him a little bit. The Trespass doing its work. Menton going down. Nice reversal there. Well played by the side of Divergent Fate.
Yeah, and all the kills going there over to Decker as well is so important. Allows Decker to get even more fed. He's now sitting on 2,000 gold. PS enough, they're going to take another 2 turrets and extend that gold lead even further. He's going to be able to find up one of his turret monocles now. He's put himself at 3 items, and the Decker's trying to bait them in to the active camera, but not going to work.
Yeah, they're not gonna fall for it. Or maybe the Koshka is. Cats can be a bit silly sometimes. Don't do it, Koshka. Don't do it. Stay away, stay safe. Remember to stay hydrated, but another crystal entry will fall, and this will be very hard for the next team fight to go in favor of most parts when there's that extra buff active, especially on Deka. Oh, active camo on 2 members.
Oh man, and the fight continues here, Biesnov, and now ZFX going to be falling down, but it's done on Koshka, not going to be long for this world class, going to survive a bit longer, but not going to be long enough. Menton also going to drop, and that will be another 2 kills going for Decker. Thought they could snipe out, return to the base bomb, the Lorelei, but instead chosen to back off in the bush. Why didn't it capture that one with the vision there?
Did you see the damage made on the Koshka on that team fight? Like, he was full, and then he was just suddenly at a sliver of health with just 1 salvo of Dekka's arrows.
So the Dekka composition, they just can't get to Dekka with 2 supports there. They
will need to start doing some armor quite soon. That's
that
main...
is for certain. Yeah.
Shidi also getting a little bit hit there. The chain not quite connecting as well as he wish it would. And now Dekka is definitely starting to be a pain in the neck. They're getting a bit overextended there. Maybe trying to pull on the bait. The Kraken just arose on a Halcyon foal. Dekka is waiting there. Active camo also ready. Waiting for the enemy to jump into the trap. Starting the Kraken up. Let's see if Gwen and Koshka will dare to go there. Into the active camo. Nope, free Kraken for the side of Divergent Fate. Ooh, nice pull there on Gwen.
Over the wall in the fight
to get away.
Here and now, here's nothing mental. There's nice amount of 80 high on Kokabuli, but Trespass will land and the chat will be Koshka already falling down. And now Gwen, not long for this world, will be the last kill. And now the Kraken comes down. It will be an ace and will be the end of the game as Divergent Fate make their way through to the semi-finals as the first team from the bottom side of the tournament board.
Very clean game for Divergent Fate. They had a very specific plan to hyper carry that Castro, and they executed it very well. They stumbled a little bit against that Koshka early on, but once they fully came online with their builds, there was no stopping them. So very well played from Divergent Fate, cleaning up this not last, but second to last game that we have for today. We have one more game lined up. It's going to be WinX Club versus Jambo coming up in a few minutes. Wicked Snow, what did you think of the game?
Well, there again. Thank you.
What did you think of the game?
The game was like awesome. I thought it would be like a little bit harder for Divergent, but the game felt really easy for them, even with the sub.
With the member missing, yeah.
Yeah. So they did well. I congratulate them to moving on to the semifinals. Well deserved. Cannot say anything else.
Yep. So next game and the last one for today that we have lined up will be WinX Club versus Jambo. We already saw these 2 teams play earlier today. WinX Club with One Punch Man, Druid, Quickly Simple, and the Left Hand of God, and Jambo with Misty Onyx, Prolito, Rafa Hat, and Make Me Doki Doki. So what's your favorite, Highland?
Oh man, I mean, looking at these teams,
Winx Club versus obviously Jambo here. I mean, both these teams are just so good and so stacked. But I think perhaps I am more leaning toward Winx Club just because I know for the fact that Druid does play a lot 3v3 as well as Quickly Symbol is familiar with the 3v3 mechanics. But that's not to say that Jambo can equally take a game away from Winx Club because, of course, they are having a couple stacked rosters themselves. In terms of the players here, we've got Misty Onyx, Prolito, Rafa Hat, and Make Me Doki Doki, all players that if you're in the VG community, you will be familiar with. And definitely expect this to be probably the closest, if not definitely the closest quarterfinal that we've had so far.
So one of the best games that we could expect to close up this second day of the tournament. Looking forward to the game. We already have one team ready, WinX Club. No, Jumbo
And
seems to be ready.
We
We're
also
still missing
have their
some people.
ban, and that's gonna be Viola from Team.
Another Viola ban.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Viola.
now we will try to get the other team online as well.
Viola, of course, just so strong right now with the buff to her support path. Not very viable, I think, as a CP. A bit too squishy. And with the rework to her CP abilities, she's not as strong as she was. She just had to get a bit more up close and personal to deal with the CP damage that she did before, which makes her a bit more vulnerable as a squishy carry. But support path nonetheless, Viola, of course, with the buff to her barriers on her symphonies from 5 to 7% of her max health ratio, and also the buff to the base barrier and again to the speed and the hitbox of the symphony. There will increase her support path overall, as well as unfortunately her Discord was nerfed. Unfortunately, and as well as her lullaby was nerfed. I think definitely things like her dissonance, which has received a buff, still make her viable at applying these obviously mortal wound stacks as a Viola, even if you go support.
I love mortal wounds. Mortal wounds are the best. If you want to annoy someone, apply mortal wounds to them. I always say that every single game. That's why I hate the dragons so much. They give you mortal wounds. Like, it's hard enough to beat the dragon. Why do they have to mortal wound you? It's just annoying. Should ban dragons. That's what we should do. Ban all the dragons.
We should ban. Well, I mean, I've got some good news for you here. Obviously, the dragons are banned for 3v3. We got.
What? Scarf? Scarf is banned?
Yeah,
we didn't do
Scarf.
anything wrong. It's just a baby.
We've not seen Scarf here.
We haven't seen. That's right, and very curious because Scarf is pretty decent on 3 versus 3. So I'm curious that we haven't seen him at all in the tournament, neither banned or picked.
Exactly,
So,
Scarf, so good. Is only
we do have information on the other ban that's gonna come out. We next will ban Petal, so no Petal, no Viola. What we have left open, we have Sky, obviously. We haven't actually seen Sky being played, just banned a lot. We have the Churnwalker, of course, so we just seen a masterclass on him by Divergent Fate. Vox, Blackfeather, a lot of broken heroes still to choose from. Let's see which one these teams will decide to pick up, as we are almost ready to get into the game. Just one more member missing from the side of WinX Club, and we can get this show on the road.
Exactly, Pierce enough here. I mean, definitely going to say to look like obviously the closest game we've seen in the quarterfinals so far. I think honestly, this could be a 20 to 25 minute game, a really high long level game here for our final one for the quarterfinals before we move on to the semi-finals. Obviously, a quick recap of the tournament so far. Obviously, previously in the first semi-finals, next week we will be going and having Rowland Gaming versus Tox Armada, and that will be on the 8th of December at 7 p.m. Central European Time, and as well our semi-final 2 will be at 8:30 p.m. Central European Time on the 8th of December once again. It will be a Divergent Fate versus the winner of this final quarterfinal.
And now we're
Ye-
just waiting for Doki to come back. I think he
Yeah,
needed to
Doki
restart
likes
his
to
game.
restart. Yeah, he likes to restart this game along, making sure he has peak performance with a fresh Vainglory
They
launch.
might need it against One Punch Man and Druid and Quentin.
This is a tough matchup.
Yeah, I'm excited about this game.
Need all
and
the small advantages you can
I
get.
really cannot say who is going to be the leader out of this one, but
We're gonna find out real soon
We're
because
gonna
all
find
players
out.
are in.
and the
About
bands
to
are
start the
done.
draft. Yep. So let's go. Deploy, deploy, deploy. Finding a match for your party. Let's see who they decide to second ban. We have, of course, a WinX Club on the blue side and a Jumbo on the red side. And the ban goes to...
Drum roll.
Sky?
Yeah, it looks like the Sky.
It is the Sky.
Instantly
Oh, with a
banned
Lyra.
away as well.
That
It
was
looks
very
like the
fast.
Yeah, it looks like the Black Feather will be picked up. Definitely a very strong hero. You've been talking about all night piercing up as well. How strong LC the Black Feather is, for sure.
It's the best kind of feather that you want, is the black feather. I haven't seen any white feather being played whatsoever on the Halcyon Fold or the Sovereign's Rise. So definitely black feather should be your OP hero to go. Jumbo will decide to counter it with a Kensei. I guess Kensei wins against black feather on the late game, maybe not on the early game, Highland.
No, for sure, man. It's obviously through the Kensei and the Grace here. Will be the next two members to be picked up, perhaps. But the Arden, goodness, be switched over. Definitely the Kensei and the Arden, two strong picks for the 3v3 with the Gauntlet and a Pathfinder Ronin in. You can definitely create a really good team fight presence with these two heroes. But also, we're going to be interested to see what they take out. It looks like the Grace will be actually stolen away.
Yeah, Grace is very good to give you that extra heal. So I like to play my Grace more aggressively, putting some damage items on her early on, going for the jungle invades and stuff like that. But on pro games, it might not work so well as it does on solo queue. The last pick that they're going to pick up is Silvernail, also very good crowd control. I guess it denies a little bit of those perks that Kensei has. I'm wondering how it will hold up against the Arden crowd control. The last pick for this game and this draft is going to be the Malign. It's going to be on the hands of Misty Onyx. Interesting draft, Highland. Interesting draft.
Yeah, I really like the Silvernail in 3v3. Actually, I'm a bit biased. I'm a bit of a big lover of Silvernail in 3v3. I think he's really good with obviously the tripwise, and the rebuke makes him so strong because the tripwise actually cover the jungle, the entirety of the jungle, like lane, or the entirety of the lane itself, like the mid lane. Because it's not 5v5 anymore, Silvernail actually covers a bigger area, and that makes him so much more dangerous as a carry into the 3v3 meta. But Malign is well good at escaping the Silvernail with the Wicked Escapade, can get themselves on out of there, so it'll be very interesting to see who
The
will
problem
win.
of Silvernail is like the wires also have silence, so if they land on top of Kensei won't be able to use his A ability to do the actual damage. And same thing for Malign, she won't be able to use the Wicked Escapade because she will just have the skills silenced up. So need to be very careful around that Silvernail, or have those Crucible readies to get away from the damage. And possible stuns coming up from the follow-up Holy Nova that might come up. I'm not sure if the silence of Silvernail also silences up the
It always silences up
itemization.
What do you mean by itemization?
Like if you're able to hit your Crucible or not, and your silence.
Yeah, it does. It silences up the Crucible.
Yeah, so you need to be careful of that. Meanwhile, Grace is in a bad position, got stunned up there, but Druid is coming to the help. A Black Feather with a party hat suddenly arrives to fight the Halcyon Fold against this Malign and Arden. Come to engage, little on point there, managed to steal one of the potatoes, not the second one.
Quickly applying so much pressure in this lane as well. Polito's so low. Definitely Quickly Simple will stand his ground and really fight against the Kensei because it's so hard for the Kensei to engage when the Tripwire can just come down and deny any invasion onto Quickly here. Looks like Polito will fall but fast just in time to save himself.
Yeah, first blood with that Arden kill. And the Misty Onyx a bit afraid to be jumped on there. We'll just let this one go on. Punch Man still hanging around, but gets rooted up there. Just to be careful. Druid is already starting up the barrier tree and can go back and help him.
As we are now 2 minutes into the game, PS enough we see a slight 1,000 gold lead for the side of Wings Club here, but nothing to shout about. We do see unfortunately Druid looks like he will be losing his life to this Meline, and One Punch Man, the Holy Nova, not going to be quick enough. And now also Polito here to join the fight, looking to take some jungle of their own. Is realistically they only managed to secure the healer, managed to do that away from the side of Wings Club.
Yeah, not really. Oh, and they also lose that healing tree, and so nice jungle secure that. Oh, Kensei in a bad trouble here.
Doesn't
no
matter.
Vanguard from Arden to keep him alive. Was on cooldown.
Kensho not enough there.
Kensei is in a little bit of a trouble against this laning phase of Silver Nail.
Exactly,
already
right?
behind on CS. Yeah.
Like, only 9 CS to 21, it's such a massive disadvantage against Quickly Simple. And unfortunately, it looks like it's just not going to be a close game or match, realistically, for Polito. He's really going to struggle against the Silver Nail, and his really excellent drafting coming from the side here of Wings Club against the side of Jamba.
Yeah, definitely good drafting. But yeah, it's only over when the Vainglory crystal shatters, so beware of that. Silver Nail just died here, so that might help equalize things a little bit.
On by the Meline, unfortunate, but they do need to get that vision on that tri-bush or on the bush coming into the lane, because if you don't see these invades, you do lose your life, and it was actually an absolute destruction of that barrier tree, and nearby Misty Onyx is going to secure that one up from the side of Wings Club's jungle. So definitely trying to bring back the gold lead in their favour from the deficit that's come from the lane against Polito here, but certainly still behind.
Yeah, Grace already has her Crucible online, but Arden still not that much clear to finishing up his first item. Wondering if he's going for the capacitor plate first.
Yeah, he's going to be going for the fountain first, especially with Light Spring. I expect to see that first item.
Another team fight coming up. Kensei tries to engage, but decides to come back. He knows that he's a bit behind on CS. Shouldn't really overcommit. Meline wants a piece of this action though. 3 versus 2. Black Feather is still rotating, making his way through his own jungle. Silver Nail putting down the poke damage. Here comes a wild Black Feather trying to get someone, but the flask getting popped, keeping this Arden alive.
As we see here, One Punch Man still quite low, but equally make me Doki Doki. So about 45% health with Life Spring, going to allow him to heal back up. And that's something that One Punch Man doesn't have, so he's still going to remain low for this possible team fight coming out here. Polito coming in, the Onyx now going to be shoved against the wall with a rebuke. Now that's going to be a stun up into the Holy Nova, and Tripwire going to cancel off her escape. And now Polito also going to fall, and that's going to be 2 kills going to decide a Wings Club very quickly. Quickly Simple doing an excellent job on this Silver Nail to see the side of Jambo's death.
Yeah, definitely. Silver Nail, very good counter pick so
Turret
far.
also gone.
Yep.
Sentry
Turret
as well.
and the Crystal Sentry. So all your game are belong to us. A nice advantage they got here. They're already 4K ahead. Another team fight might be coming up next, which would be not so wise considering they do have the buff. One Punch Man in a bad position, but uses his A to reposition himself.
Yeah, the benediction there used by One Punch Man. Yeah, to get himself out of safety.
They could get a gold miner here, but they decide against it.
I think obviously just a bit nervous the fact of what happened to him, last time. Obviously the review is still back up now for Quickly Simple. He does have 2 items in this kit. He
already got the breaking point.
Yeah, that's going to be his power spike there. Just needs the Bone Sword to really bring on the damage. And the Onyx here coming into the lane does manage to find the light ribbons onto Black Feather. Not going to be enough for WTS. They try to get on out of their dodges, the holding another divine intervention onto Black Feather to keep the fight going. Now Polito is going to be dived upon by 2 members. Now that's going to be them going down. Path to Run has been blocked, but now the fight continues out. Misty Onyx trying to survive Druid, almost going to go down to Misty Onyx, but the flask has been popped out. Rebuke into the wall. Now it's going to be Misty Onyx falling as the CC comes down. It's not going to be any members falling from the side of Witch Club, as now the Arden is the last member to fall. He is going to almost fall, but now not. As for Polito, now it's respawned. He's trying to come in. They can't quite find him. The silence there on Tripwire is so good to deny that engagement.
Such a clean fight from the side of WinX Club with the Crucible on point, the Rebook on point. Very clean play, and they secure their advantage on this early game. 7 minutes and a half. Another nice Tripwire there, silencing up the enemy team, making sure they don't counter engage. They might try to steal this barrier tree end though, and Black Feather is quite low. It needs to be careful not to overextend. Does concede that barrier tree end. Another gold miner opportunity here that the Jumbo decide to ignore.
Yeah, definitely can't take a gold miner. They're not going to be able to take it quick enough here. Yeah, they can't take it quick enough here. Quaily Simple's too far ahead as well. It's going to be too hard for them to take it. They could just lose another team fight, and that ultimately would cost them way too much for a lead in place of Wings Club. But it will be Wings Club who do have the advantage in the gold and in the map presence, so they will turn their head to the gold miner, and it will not be taken out as Misty Onyx was not in that fight. The Tripwire there to cancel out any engagement. Misty Onyx cut off from the rest of her team. The light ribbons there just to secure a bit of distance, but Quickly Simple trying to engage. The divine intervention has been used. Maybe the he already used the block, but it's not going to matter as he will fall down. One hero down, and now the benediction holding over. Now they're trying to survive. Unfortunately, has overextended. The Fountain has to be used to survive. Druid as well, trying to find a edge way into Misty Onyx, but will fall down. And now Quickly Simple, who is trying to push the turret, has lost his team in the back foot, and now it will be only him surviving. Unfortunately, he should have helped, and because he didn't, he's just now going to have to come in, and he does survive, but he's not going to manage to still take down the Tensei here, as not good, just barely doesn't get over that tripwire, and unfortunately Polito does manage to secure that kill as a result.
That was weird because he had the breakpoint stack, so why the hell did he stop doing enough damage to Tensei? I guess the barrier and the help from Arden managed to...
He left his team to try to push the turret, and it didn't even get the turret anyway. So that a bit of a miscommunication.
Yeah, that was a bad call. But Black Feather also kind of overextended there. He went under the turret, and that cost him the kill. Bit of a throw, yeah. They're gonna start up another gold miner here, though. Maybe just a bait, trying to get the enemy team to engage upon them. If they do the rotation, they will allow this Crystal Sentry to go, and that will be all she wrote for the next team fight, because with the buff, they should probably avoid any team fights at this point. 10 minutes in, 2 more minutes until the Kraken spawns up. This Silver Nail is starting to snowball quite hard, almost reaching his third item, the Bone Saw seems to be. Yeah, very interesting itemization. I was taking a look at if they have any defense items at all, and they seem to not have it, just the captains.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they definitely need a bit of defense here for the Silver Nail. Just about to buy up his Bone Sword, does have gold for it. That will be his third item, brought up an infusion as well to do, as well as going to be then ready for the next team fight. We will turn ahead to the gold mine if the Kraken comes up in 12 minutes. So that's going to be some good objective control there from the side of Wings Club. They steal away the front camps as well. And now we look for the engagement as the gold mine player has being collected. Now the gauntlet there just is sum up 2 people, but I'm not sure it's going to matter, as now Tripwires come out quickly. Simple just can't quite join the team fight through that gauntlet. And now Misty Onyx with Quickly Simple here. The divine intervention has hit 469 healing, and backside Druid's trying to deal with Polito, but it doesn't matter as they've already lost the Ard, and now Misty Onyx has been zoned out. It will be the path and defensively used by Polito just to get away from that. The Wicked S play going to come back up, and he's just going to die in the face of the Silver Nail, and obviously Druid as well on the back foot has managed to take out the Kensei, and it will be an ace for the side of Wings Club once again.
Yeah, definitely clear advantage to WinX Club here with just the gold advantage that they have. They ended up being 1 versus 1 on both sides of the carries versus the jungles, and they won both of those encounters, so clearly they are quite ahead. The tripwire laid out, Crystal Sentry about to go down yet again, remaining the advantage. Boots getting popped there, but the team not quite communicating well. Now Grace getting caught off guard. This might be a bit of a reversal. Druid doing a little bit of a poke damage, trying to persuade the enemy team to not engage. And now it's Silvernail that gets out of position, but the rest of the team quickly comes to his aid. Kensei is forced to back off real quick. Black Feather is upon him, will be able to secure that kill, I believe. Will he? Maybe?
Yeah,
possibly. Arden stepping into the
Prolito going to die now as the fight still continues here. PS now Mr. Onyx still trying to create some distance, bit of light ribbons, trying to escape Prolito. Too low to fight here. And Road Druid has sussed him out where he's going to be going, and now going to hunt
be able to turn back against Black Feather.
Point, and now Mr. Onyx will need to get on out of there. Make me Doki Doki has been caught in the backside. The light ribbons there just to defend. Tripwire not going to cut off. Make me Doki Doki's escaping. They're just going to turn their head to the Kraken.
They could have turned against Black Feather at that point there, but Kensei was too busy escaping and didn't dare to do the turnaround. I think they could have gotten Black Feather if they did that. Instead, they just gave 2 kills away and the complete leadership of the game to Win X Club, that they are starting up this Kraken. The rest of the team are going to arrive now. Try to see if they can.
9,000 gold behind though. It's going to be very hard for him here to contest the Kraken. It will go to say of Winx Club, the rebuke into the wall onto the Arden, going in intervention as well onto Silvernail to keep him alive. But he's might just fall here. Polito is not going to find a kill. Quickly Simple still alive, still doing damage, and no one can kill him. He just can't die. Maybe Doki Doki trying to find it, but it's only a triple kill for obviously the Silvernail here. Sorry, the Black Ferret, who does pick another 3 kills up, 9-2 and 3, and it looks like it will be more turrets falling. It could be the end of the game.
Yeah, very possibly. A couple seconds still left until they come, but it will be very hard. As we saw, they managed to single out Silvernail and they still couldn't kill him off. So that says a lot. The Silvernail is just too fed, too far gone. They need an intervention quite quick, and I don't think with the Kraken still almost full health, I don't think they will be able to do it. Crucible coming out, trying to deny that stun there from the Kensei. Tripwire laid down, trying to isolate someone away, but the last turret has fallen. They're forced to go into the final team fight. Kensei desperately trying to get a kill, not quite managing to get anyone, and now Malin left playing against a buffed up
that will be the
Black Feather.
There. And now PS enough for every single quarterfinal has gone the way of the A side, and that will be Winx Club making a way against. It will be up against, I believe, Divergent Fate. Yep, it will be up against now Winx Club in the semi-finals.
Yep. So that was the last game we got for today. Very intense matchup. I really enjoyed that one. Wicked Snow, are you there? You want to add some words about this last game?
It was a really good game, and I am very thankful for everybody that has been here watching and supporting the stream and the players. And looking forward to next Sunday. Obviously, we have like some really good teams: Roland Gaming, Tox Armada, Divergent Fate, and now Winx Club for the semifinals.
Yeah, and the format will change slightly, right? It's going to be best of 3.
A best of 3.
All right.
So that's going to be exciting. Going to be a little bit more intense games, I hope, because now the teams are more equal in terms of gameplays, and they have played together.
Yeah, so looking forward for that game, 8th of December at 7 and 8:30. Yeah, same time as usual. Roland Gaming versus Tox Armada, and Divergent Fate versus Win X Club. See you then.
I want to thank you guys for being here and hosting. You have done an awesome job. Could not have done it without you guys. And I also want to say thank you to Cursed Gamers that's been here moderating. Hopefully fun and nice. And yeah, thank you for us, and we will see you all next Sunday.
That's it. Bye bye everyone. Take care. Don't forget your grades.
Bye.
It's great.